Michigan.
Well, no. I'm gonna save that for later.
Oh, for a beer.
Yeah, that would be good.
That's important.
Yeah, it's very important. Um, so you know those monster crickets, those fucking creepy ones that look like spiders.
Yeah.
I
Sprickets,
I,
something like
I
that.
guess sure. Call it what you want. I don't give a fuck. I hate those things. So we get. I mean, we're in the basement, so obviously we're gonna encounter those little motherfuckers down here. So I saw one in the washroom the other day. So I started spraying poison just all over the place because I'm a lunatic. I don't even think I hit the motherfucker. I was just spraying poison, and because my feeling is, we all gotta die. So I start spraying, and then um, I lost it. It disappeared. So I was like, this motherfucker's gonna die eventually. So I come down the stairs. Was it this morning? Yeah, maybe this morning or yesterday to get something, and I see at the very bottom of the stairs a cricket sitting there. So I move because they like to jump at you. They are ballsy. They will attack. So I get to the second to the bottom step, and I start moving. Oh, this motherfucker's not moving. So I leap over. I'm like, oh, he's dead as fuck. So I carry on with my dad, go to work, live my life. I come home tonight.
Man.
Oh yeah, what the fuck, yo? You didn't even kill it right. It's just sitting
Oh,
there.
he got smushed on the back. No.
So like I come downstairs tonight, and that shit's gone. So I asked Sarah, I was like, "Hey yo, did you like vacuum the cricket up or something yesterday?" She said, "No, I haven't been downstairs at all." I was like, "Oh shit, this dead motherfucker's creeping around." But then I started really thinking about this one weird thing, and I get a little weird sometimes. I was like, I'm glad I didn't vacuum this fucker up, because what if his cricket relatives want to come out, and say their last piece to him? They have like a little fucking cricket funeral and shit.
You can have more in there.
Well, no, I mean they're already out there anyway. Well, because Sarah ran into like a little bitty one, and he kept chasing at her. I was like, "Bitch, kick him! What the fuck you doing? Stomp that!" Well, it's hard to stomp him because they move so fast. I was like, "Just kick, when he's in midair, kick the shit out of him, kick him into the wall." That'll jar his little fucking dumbass. So anyhow, I was thinking to myself, maybe the little cricket family wanted to come on, say their final goodbyes. I got a heart of gold. So I open up the washroom, where the fridge is and everything. Open that door and I see this little motherfucker just sitting there on the ground. Maybe dead, I don't know. But he's laying there. So I grab the vacuum, turn it on. You can see him starting to move. And then I just started thinking, like, yo, this motherfucker's a goner. He's doing everything he can to get away. That's got to be what it was like. I don't know. I was about to say some horrible things, but that's what it had to be like for like people that died.
Usually I'll save spiders. I put them on the dustpan on my side. This one time I did that, and then that dude was heading right back towards me. I said, "What are you doing?"
I'll stomp the fuck out of us. I'll stomp a spider.
Ant or gnats, spider gnats.
No,
They gotta go.
gnats. No, fuck gnats. I'll stomp a spider. I'll stomp a gnat. I'll kill a house centipede. Crickets. I'll fucking spray him in his face.
Centipedes are gross.
Like I hate all them little motherfuckers.
Those look like aliens. Those bugs with the freaking legs all the way around.
Yeah, you could.
Like the centipede.
I think that's a millipede.
Yeah, that's gross.
Like, I'll put it to you this way. I would never ever be confused with anybody that's part of PETA or loves animals. I don't hate animals. But if I see a bug in my house or a rodent, those motherfuckers gotta go. Like, one of my tenants today asked me, like, "You a dog person?" I was like, "I like dogs. I don't have one, but I like them." I was like, "What's up?" And then his wife is sitting there. And he started rambling about something. I was like, "All right, dude." Like, stop talking to me. She was a coal burner. I don't know if you know what that is.
Coal burner?
Yeah, I got that terminology from that 1996 movie Freeway with Reese Witherspoon, Kiefer Sutherland, Bokeem Woodbine, Brooke Shields. It was a fucking classic. No, it wasn't. It was fucking dog shit. It was trash. It was horrible. One of the worst movies I ever saw. But Rotten Tomatoes gave that fucking movie like a 77 or some shit. Yo, I hate Rotten Tomatoes. Yo, I hate all those fucking like critic sites because it's like people who want to be film writers who suck, so they just want to judge other movies and like, oh, this movie's such a classic. Shut up. You're saying it's a classic because I had a young Reese Witherspoon and you're fucking jerking off to it because you're a pedophile. Like, this shit is dumb. The movie is fucking trash. It was dog shit. But the black detective called her a coal burner, and the white detective says, "What's that?" And he goes, she dates black guys. So I've been calling my wife a coal burner for the last 2 weeks. I don't know.
So what if you married?
I think you're still a coal burner. Because I think you want to say fuck black guys, but, you know, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't make these rules up. I'm just here for the party. Yeah, that was a good opening. I had some other shit to say, but like I said, I forgot.
Coal burner.
Yeah, I don't even know how that term comes up. Like, what is that even fucking, like, I don't know. It's fucking wild. But yeah, my wife is a coal burner. Can't help it.
It sounds like the title of the episode. My wife is a coal burner.
She likes what she likes. And I can tell you what she likes. She likes that thing I do. All right, how you been, man?
Alright, we've seen a lot of each other recently.
Yeah.
I hope I don't have a cold coming. I feel like something in my chest, but I won't. It's too early to tell what's going on.
We living in those times where COVID makes you confused about what's what.
Yeah. Like, I feel like a twin, something's going on, but maybe not. Yeah, so, I mean, we did talk about our Friday, sort of. I don't know how well that podcast went.
I don't know.
We had a lot of fun.
I never listened back to it. I didn't listen to anything because I knew the sound was going to be bad anyway. Because your floors, the sound echoes off of everything. So I was like, I'm not playing that back. I don't want no part of what that has to offer. So I wonder if I have to get up on this motherfucker like this. Cause,
it sounds better than it did.
Well, yeah, because I'm up on this
I
motherfucker.
got a little vibration going on in my head.
So
that happens sometimes.
you, on the other hand, when you talk, I don't see hardly any movement. So you might got to be up. You might have to deep throat that thing. Talk.
Hello. It's loud in my headphones. That's what's deceiving.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That is that.
I know,
That's
I'm trying to turn it down so I don't think it's loud.
So it says something now.
Hello.
Yeah, I got movement from you there. So yeah, you got to talk into that motherfucker. So do I. But at least I can project. You got to talk to the microphone. You got to make love to it with your
now
voice,
I
son.
mean, the way it's up here, I feel like you have some kind of weird fantasy.
No.
You got like a mic.
Like black things in front of white
Yeah,
people's
right in front
faces.
of
Yeah, it's
face.
called a, like
I gotta get closer
a lot of
to
the
it.
porn that I watch are black dudes fucking white chicks. So there is that.
I mean, if you watching porn, do you rather it be like you can relate to it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not watching Asian.
There's white guys that
I'm not
like
watching
watching,
Asian dudes
like,
like fuck
black
black
dudes.
chicks.
And then
So
to me, it's like I can't relate to that.
I think that's a different type of fantasy though. That's not a relatable fantasy. That's some shit like I want to see my wife with that black eye. I want to be the cuckold.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like,
wild to me,
yo,
that cut.
that shit is wild. Cause like I've seen that shit. I'm like, what? like, keep doing that, but like, why are you in the room? Like, why are you? Okay. So now, hey, if any of y'all into that kind of weird shit, call me. I'm down to get weird.
I feel like I have a guess of someone who would be, but we won't say that on here.
Oh, that's wild. Like, I don't know that I know anyone that I don't know that. But that's the thing. I think those kind of cats are like very unassuming. They're not gonna like put a fucking tattoo on their forehead that says I'm a cuck. But
There's a sign for like the upside down pineapple.
I think that's for swingers, dude.
No, I mean they got their own.
Yeah. I need to get in on this terminology now. But yeah, if I see somebody at the supermarket with upside down pineapple, either they really stupid and don't know how to put pineapples in a cart, or they look for action.
Oh yeah.
So
for the people that don't even know, and then they start having all these like there's some like attractive person they got their pineapple upside down. And everyone keeps coming up to them and then why?
Well, what was it like wearing like pineapple earrings upside down, shit like that? Like, now what if some unassuming young lady sees that? It's like, oh, I like it. It looks cute, and then does it, and all these people are hitting on
I
her.
bought the pineapple before I heard that, which I didn't know about that until probably in the last year. I thought the pineapple meant like hospitality, so that's a whole other hospitality.
So,
Maybe that's a right side up one.
so what was it? Flamingo on the front lawn. That's another wild one. It's like, huh? Really?
What does
Because
that mean?
you're a swinger. You're inviting them in, and the thing is, it's like, really? Because like I know like mad old people be into swinging, like old people, they like flamingos. Now, this is some wild shit. If you're in fucking Montana with flamingos on your front lawn, oh, you've already let us know.
This one old people like birds. They're getting the wrong message out.
I know your mom has a bird feeder in the front yard.
Those
Just,
flamingos.
just let her know. If you see her put flamingos out, like, Mom, no.
She's always
Dad.
Really excited to tell me when the woodpecker. No, the hummingbird. Sorry, the hummingbird.
Yeah. Well, because hummingbirds are pretty cool, dude. I don't know. I'd be excited too. But, oh, excuse me. Before we deep dive into some things, I should have won my fantasy football game this week by exactly 1 point. I picked up Aaron Rodgers, thinking, he's been all right the last couple games. If he can get me 19, I'm solid. This fucker got me 10, got injured, and left. Jordan Love came in, though. And guess what Jordan Love did? He won me the game. Because homeboy wasn't throwing to Christian Watson. Jordan Love came in and said, fuck that. Get the ball to this kid. Got him a fucking touchdown, like a long touchdown. Because I gave up. I turned the game off. I closed my phone. And then my friend Manuel texts me. He goes, yo, you're in this. Your game is close. And I look, and now I'm down by fucking 6. And I was like, yo, if he gets one, like, because Christian Watson was at 95 yards. I was like, yo, if he gets one catch for at least 6 yards, it's go time. They get the ball back, and he does just that. I was like, yes. Now I'm up by 1. Then all I kept thinking was like, yo, this dude, what they need to do now is just run the ball. I know they need to pass it to win, but I don't need an interception because my opponent had Philly's defense. So I was like, yo, please don't throw an interception. He nearly did. And then when they kicked that field goal, I was like, that's perfect. That's all I need. Kick the field goal, good. Give the ball back to Philly. Let them run the clock out. They did just that. So let me tell you, I'm excited. My nipples are hard and everything.
I'm still better than the Giants scored that touchdown with 8 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Giants did that shit for no reason.
I saw someone today, I haven't seen a lot of reviews, just like, that one's in his bet because the Giants covered. Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. Fuck you, dude.
Garbage time touchdown.
Bullshit ass touchdowns, yo. Fuck that guy, yo.
You get half the point.
You get kicked in his head. It's not his fault.
You're just getting some stats. You
Yeah.
can't win the game.
Just pump your stats up, try to win MVP on a losing team, you loser.
Oh yeah, you're losing the game. So we're still 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. But still feel good about it.
Yeah. What the fuck? All right, so
I saw a funny meme today. This reminded me, I guess it was along the lines of a couple, and the girl storms off into the bedroom and slams the door and goes to bed and expects the husband to follow her. She's mad, but instead when she gets to bed, she hears EA Sports. And she's just extra pissed.
oh my god, I've lived that plenty of times. Sarah will be furious at some shit. She'd go slam the door into the room, and I'm just sitting in the living room. EA Sports. It's in the game. And then she'll come out and get even madder. And it's like, yo, I'm not even doing nothing.
I sent the meme today, thinking it would make her laugh. She sent me back the angry face. Why the angry face? She's like, because he didn't come to the room.
Hater.
Sounded like he was having fun.
Hater. I know,
You gotta let things calm down.
Women don't ever want dudes to have fun. I'm telling you
I
something.
know when they're mad, you put on mad, men's not gonna be
Well, maybe they shouldn't be mad. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that they're mad?
I wasn't mad.
They chose to be mad, and they need to remember that. So, there's an observation here. We started talking, got excited. The fucking meter started going up. Give me that energy.
Ooh, I gotta get excited.
Yeah, don't do that. That sounds weird. So yeah. Anyhow, yeah, we hung out Friday evening. As you know, if anyone listened to our bonus episode, quote unquote, you heard that we played beer pong and I won. I mean, Brett was there too.
New name for you. Accident.
Hey, you call it accident all you want, but it's called championship, bitch.
Great plays in sports history. The immaculate reception.
Yeah, well.
And we got the accident.
No, I tell you what, my championship belt will be in the mail next week, and I will wear that motherfucker everywhere because I'm a fucking champion. God damn, it was so good. Anyhow, so yeah, we hung out Friday evening, drank, played beer pong. I came over after Thanksgiving festivities. I didn't want to disrupt dinner or nothing. Not that it would have been a disruption with your parents. I feel like your parents don't hate me, so I think it would have been fine. But it's still family time, so I want to let y'all have that moment. And then we do anything Saturday? What happened Saturday? Oh, Michigan, but I'll talk about that later. And then we.
Did that.
I don't know what you doing Saturday, but
Oh, I played
volleyball. You know, I was just say, did you play
It was
volleyball?
a little cold, but I felt slow as heck from the Thanksgiving food.
Mm.
Like running, I mean, we were running in sand, but I felt like I was running in some foot deep sand.
You know, I didn't really normally on Thanksgiving I go all in. I didn't this year. I had a plate of macaroni, I had some ham because that's what we do in our home. We do ham. They got turkey, but I don't fuck with turkey like that. I had some greens. My cousin, Bruce's daughter Tyja, she made greens with some fucking crushed peppers in it. A little too aggressive, a little too hot. I'm not that guy. Shit was not okay for me, but they were good because there's a hit of sweet at first. That sweet was banging, and then that spice hit, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what Spice Girl is this? Got the fuck out of Dodge there. I'm trying to think, what else did I eat? I didn't eat a whole bunch. The dressing was like stovetop stuff, in which I'm not okay. That's not the
I think you
tradition.
mentioned it on mine.
Did we?
I mean, the bonus of I had my first true cornbread stuff.
That's the move, son. Oh
I
my
had my
god,
first
bro.
sweet potatoes with marshmallow, which I didn't know was a
That's-
thing. And
Yo.
then today, a few times I told you that's what I had, and they're just like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the way to go. And I was like, dang, I never heard of it.
How have
And
you
then
been living
I
under a
it's
fucking
comfort
rock?
food, man. We don't have soul food. We're lucky to get some salt in that food, you know?
I knew it was coming, but I was just like, try not to laugh. Don't even beat them to it. Just let it happen.
If we're
That's true.
having a sweet potato, it's probably just a sweet potato in the oven. You
Yeah,
might not even
true.
get butter on it.
So one year because Sarah's been doing Thanksgiving with us for many years. So over the years we've tried to like integrate her into cause Sarah can cook her ass off. She's a great cook. But for Thanksgiving, my family, there's a specific route that you have to take when you're cooking. So they unleashed her on the sweet potato casserole one year. Wasn't terrible, but it wasn't what we're used to. So we had to take it away. So then we let some time go by, and then I love the macaroni and cheese she makes. So I unleashed her on that. It wasn't terrible, but it's not what we're used to. So we had to take that away from her as well. Now, that's very misleading because you would think Sarah's not a good cook. No, she's an excellent cook. It's just she's not in tune with the Dante family tradition. So that's all right. And then I got called back up from the minor leagues to do the apple crisp. It's fucked up. I get the bake and everything, but then I still gotta sit at the fucking kids' table. How disrespectful is that, yo? It was like, yo, can you bake that apple crisp? The joint that you do from scratch. You don't use no box, nothing. You cut the apples up yourself, son. You mix up the flour with the fucking cinnamon and the sugar. And you do your thing, son. Then you mix in the egg and the butter. You get your crumble on. You throw the brown sugar in that joint. Then you gotta sit at the fucking kids' table, bitch. And then to make matters worse, on Thursday, Sarah had to work, so we left early. Well, not early, but we left before dessert. I ain't getting no apple crisp, yo. I was like, yo, really, son? I went to grandma's on Saturday and picked up my dish, and she was like, here's some of your apple crisps. Like, we ate the rest. Like, I had like 8 serving. Family be disrespectful, yo. Like, the thing is, I say I won't go there next year, but grandma's gonna come. Like, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? Like, what do you think I'm doing for Thanksgiving? I'm coming to your fucking house. Like, grandma gave me like some instructions the other day. She was like, can you move the umbrella, the patio umbrella downstairs? I was like, yeah. She said some other shit, and I come up. So she was like, why didn't you bring up the table? I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I told you to take the umbrella down and bring up the table. I was like, you can't give me 2-step directions, grandma. I'm your grandson. You know how fucking dumb I am, right? Like, why would you tell me 2 things in one sitting? You got to tell me one thing. Then when I'm at the bottom of the fucking stairs, you say, now bring up the table. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, shout out to grandma, though. She about to be 93 years old. I didn't even know that.
Right.
That's wild as shit. So, that means she better chill out. She keep calling me dumb. Guess what? Old folks home ain't too far out of her future, son. Like, I called the wrong one, too. Like, hey, this the worst one? Put her in.
I was gonna say, some of them look kind of fun. They got like, it's like summer camp every day.
That's what it looks like.
Activities.
That's the brochure they
But then,
show
like
you.
my grandmother who lived to 100, she was hating on all the group stuff that they tried to get her to do. She just wanted to be alone in her apartment.
Love to hear it. Yo, shout out to grandma, yo.
Like
Fuck them kids, yo.
They had like dinner provided for them in like the cafeteria. She always got hers to go.
I like it. Yo, she's my kind of gal. Fuck them kids, yo. Like, so, Grandma Bentley, do you want your mashed potatoes out here at the table? Fuck them kids. Yeah, I'm trying to watch my stories. I'm trying to watch Guiding Lights. I gotta see who did it.
Yeah, the modern TV controller used to get my grandma. Every once in a while, she'd have the thing where you switch, where you turn the power button on, and then it turns on the TV and off the cable box where it wasn't aligned.
Yeah.
Come fix that.
So, hey, my grandparents' TV almost fucked with me because I don't have cable now. I just use the Fire Stick. So we got what 5 buttons on the fucking Fire Stick remote. I went to change from the Lions game and try to find the Cowboys game. I had no idea what channels were what, and I'm just scrolling through at this point. I'm just hoping to land on something. Nothing. But eventually, like, I think I circled all the way back around and got to the Cowboys game.
There's so many channels on cable. I pretty much start at like 505 and go up to ESPN's 570, and then a little past that, I think 592 is the NFL Network. And a little past that's the Wizards station. I don't even know what it is, but I can always find it. It's like every night there's a Wizards game where I'll just have this blank screen. That's just I'm only in that range. Yeah. Anything out of that range, I don't know what it is.
So that used to always be my argument. Like I want to say back in 2000, let's say 4, around that time. I remember going up to Sarah's friend's house. They had 200 plus channels. That was a big deal at that time, especially. It might have been 500, 200 or 500. I remember that was a huge deal back in the day. They had that many channels. I remember they had all these sports channels. They don't watch sports. And I remember saying, it was like, why do they have all these sports channels? They don't watch sports. Because I remember, so this was like down the line when the Colts played the Saints in the Super Bowl, I think. And I remember the talk was basically, I was like, okay, Colts versus Saints. Yeah, I can't remember what my deal was. I was mad at something. I'm like, okay, I guess we know who we're going to cheer for with Dante. And I was like, no, pick your own fucking team to cheer for. Don't cheer with me. You guys don't even fucking watch sports. What the fuck are you doing? But I remember thinking back then, and, I remember my neighbor also not arguing, but like saying, well, that's the cable companies won't make money if you do that. I was like, you should have like, cable a la carte. Give me 15 channels I could pick. That way I know that I'm not spending my money on useless channels. Like, I'm not watching Hallmark. Like, I think Peacock has Hallmark now and Sarasota shit. You can see the nipples get hard and the vagina get wet. She went fucking Google Gaga, and I told her immediately, Survivor Series, bitch, turned it on. Watch these women jump off the top of the steel cage. Get hard for that, bitch. But nah, like, I've always been like, like, big into saying like, look, let me just pick my channels. Now that's kind of what it is with all these fucking apps now. It's just like when people talk about like, disrespectful. But people always talk about the whole like, oh, you pay for all these apps, you pay just as much for cable now, or just as much for all these apps as you would for cable, which isn't actually true. Because again, Netflix moving its prices up. It does fucking fuck that up. But the thing is, it's like you get Hulu, you can watch a bunch of shit on Hulu. Like in the stuff, I think Hulu's like $10 at least, or at most $10. I don't do the no commercial package because I'm not a pussy. Everybody's like, I can't watch commercials. Commercials interrupt my day. My fucking cousin's girlfriend did that.
I feel like in some ways I
fucking
like
cunt.
a little bit. It's like, oh, bathroom break.
Yeah, so I got a thing for commercials.
A little break. Take my phone for a little bit.
Because it's like when movies.
Because we're used to it.
I'm sure that's a part of it.
I don't mind them either.
Well, I think for me though too, with commercials is like when there's a movie coming out and I get a trailer. I'm not that guy like, let's go sit on YouTube and look for trailers. Like, no, if I'm sitting there, I need a reminder to go see a movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if I don't watch a lot of TV besides sports, I'm missing some of these movie previews because they're not targeting the Wizards station or whatever.
But I don't know, all these fucking trying to think of the nicest thing to say. Bitches. Like, they whine about all these commercials, and they're like, oh, well, you buy all these apps and it's gonna cost just as much as cable. No, because I can get all these apps and still be only paying what, $40, and cable we're paying easily over 100 for a bunch of channels we didn't want. At least with my $40, I'm getting the channels that I want, and there's no filler to it. UFC Fight Pass, which is kind of on and off, ESPN, Peacock, Paramount Plus. If it were up to me, I'd get rid of Netflix. I hate Netflix. This shit is trash.
I just find that hard. I mean, I don't have. I mean, someone in our both Bea and Brett have Netflix, so I have Netflix sort of by default. But I'm like, I never. Really, it's hard to find a good movie on there. I feel like.
I agree.
I did find one today. I started, and it's like one of those. And I have had success when we go back and watch one of those Korean original movies that we really. I was like, this Korean movie so far, what I started today, looks pretty solid. I'm excited to watch that one. But other than that, I was like, every time I scroll through Netflix, I'm like, no. Something sounds interesting. And I'm not big into reviews, but if I look it up and I see it got like a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes.
If I see it got a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes, I'm especially going to watch it. You know why? Because fuck them. That's why. They gave Freeway a 77%. Meanwhile, Hocus Pocus, which I don't care about Hocus Pocus, not my cup of tea, but it's a fucking beloved movie. I think they gave it like a 30% or some shit. Like, y'all are smoking crack. Y'all are just upset because y'all are shitty screenwriters and y'all don't have a job other than to sit here and review movies and whine. Like, oh, this wasn't that good. The lighting was off. Oh, this script was so predictable. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Like, fuck Netflix. Fuck Rotten Tomatoes. And what's the other one? Metacritic? Fuck those guys too. The only one that matters is the fucking fan vote. Like,
that's what I look at.
Yeah. If motherfuckers are like, yeah, we liked it.
Yeah, if they got the fan votes high and the critical votes low, I'm definitely watching it.
For sure.
If both are low, I'm just like, well, this probably is bad.
Yeah, if they're both low, then I'm probably, I might check it out for
And
Netflix
got a lot of, I feel like that's Netflix criteria sometimes. Like, they got, like, what was that station years ago? They used to just show, like, the movies no one would ever see. Like, USA.
Oh, yeah.
Like, at one point they had Judgment Night on repeat. Wow. Judgment Night was a banging ass soundtrack.
So
that movie was. Someone
just brought that up. They were talking about like great soundtracks of the '90s, and the one guy, they're doing like a soundtrack draft, and one guy goes, "Here's my ringer, and my number 4." They were doing 5. He was like, "My number 4 is gonna be Judgment Night," and the lady was like, "Okay, all right, I hear you." And the guy was like, "It's a great soundtrack." He started listening to artists and goes, "Don't know what the movie's about, never seen the movie, but the soundtrack is hard."
The movie, it's not terrible. What makes it bad though is how many good actors it has, and that's what they got.
So, and that's my point whenever I see movies now where they like, it's a star-studded cast, and I'm like, oh really? Do tell. Oh, you got Daniel Craig. Oh, you got Margot Robbie. Oh, you got Christian Bale. Cool. Oh, you got Denzel Washington's son. I don't know his name, but you got all these stars. All right, I'll watch Amsterdam. Oh my God, this movie is fucking dog shit. That's why I don't watch movies with a bunch of stars in it anymore. If it's an older movie, maybe because it's like the stars on their way up. But it's like when they're established and they just need a paycheck, like Nicolas Cage, then it's like, oh, fuck these motherfuckers, yo. So, fuck those guys. Fuck Metacritic.
Have you seen
fuck.
Judgment Night?
Yes, I have. Yes. Well, so yeah, I mean back.
Jeremy Piven.
Well, because it was back in that time where it's like I was really into that like grittier type movie, so I was like, yeah, I want to check it out. Plus, Mario will put me onto some movie, and I'm sure that's one of the ones Mario put me onto. But we'll sit there and watch something. It's like I think at the time I was like, yo, this movie was tight as shit, and then when you get older and start, it's like, not really. It was okay. It's one of those things that's like if I'm flipping through my TV right now, looking at apps, and I say, oh, okay. Judgment Night's on. Oh, blast from the past. Only but goodie. I'm gonna watch it. I won't turn it away. But if I'm sitting here with Sarah on Friday night, it's like, let's pick a movie. We scroll through the movies, and I'm like, she's like, oh, what's that Judgment Night movie? It's like, you don't want to do that. Like, don't, nah, keep going.
This part that the whole city they're in looked a little suspect.
Gotham.
And Dennis Leary, like the henchman of that city, it just didn't look great.
Either way,
It's like Detroit and Dennis Leary's running the town.
You never know in Detroit sometimes.
And then Jeremy Piven's character was a bitch.
So
I remember he was like begging for his life all the time. Cuba Gooding was one of them.
Yeah.
Like their whole group of friends
Yeah.
didn't make sense. They weren't they on like an RV and went to a game or something?
yeah, they went to like a basketball game, maybe something like that.
An RV.
Don't knock it, dude.
Like, I went to the bad part of town.
That's what I'm knocking. It's like you so y'all motherfuckers just don't know. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it. But that also kind of reminds me of Suicide Kings a little bit. Whereas like Suicide Kings, at least there was like the surrounding plot made sense up until it didn't. It's like, and coincidence between the two, Dennis Leary. The Dennis Leary parts is where it started to really get a little fuckery. So I was like, all right, I don't hate Dennis Leary, but let me tell you, when he's in a movie that's not the ref, I'm probably gonna steer clear. And even the ref is one of those ones where it's like,
you know, play that firefighter character.
oh yeah, on Rescue Me.
He kind of looks like that look, Irish firefighter look.
I think that was at a point though too. Now he's seasoned, you know, and I feel like also the character was like, oh, this is kind of you, just be you. Like, oh, I can do that. All right, I don't. We went on some kind of wild rant. My bad. Yeah, let's get into it. 30 minutes in.
Pending Doom. So this is the third of Pending Doom series. I believe we have actually done the other two, but this one's Impending Doom Hazy Tangerine Double IPA.
Delicious.
If you remember with these, they're pretty strong.
They're delicious.
So this is a 9.5.
Love it.
And by Heavy Seas out of Halethorpe.
Love it.
Do we agree? How do we say that? Halethorpe?
Halethorpe? I don't know. I feel like we're saying it a little different slightly, but we know what the fuck we're talking about. Y'all better know what we're talking about.
Probably the real way you say it's right. I think like it's supposed to be.
Probably.
But yeah, brewed with wheat, oats, and tangerine puree.
And love.
For maximum juiciness. It is very juicy. This is why it says Baltimore. They don't want to claim Halethorpe.
Fuck them.
That's where their brewery is, though. Went there. Yeah, what'd you give it?
I'm gonna give this an 8.3. I really enjoyed it. I love the taste. I love the percentage. It is so fucking good. I would buy this. I would recommend it. I'm probably gonna buy some tomorrow, but I'm not gonna remember the name. So I need you to text the name to me.
Alright. I don't know why I gave it a 7.6. Now I feel low.
No, I'm super dramatic tonight though. I got a headache.
But I was thinking
it's
about
really
the same thing. Like, well, I just ate a bunch of food before I came here. But I mean, it was very good.
I enjoyed it. It is
That's
good.
still pretty overall. Still.
Yeah, I mean,
it fits with all the Impending Dooms have done well.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like I think anything over a 7.5 for this is gold. I think anything under a 7.5 is like you're doing a disservice. This is a yummy tasting beer. It's got a good percentage. I think it's a win all across the board. So that might be my highest score. It may be time for my highest score, 8.3.
I think you did a higher one recently.
That's dumb.
But our highest
that ant
overall.
that ant got his legs back.
He woke up, yo. He must have been knocked out for a while.
I stomped the fuck out of him with that leg, with that cat.
Our highest overall combined, me and you score is 8.3. And we have about 6 beers now tied with 8.3.
Okay. I should probably go higher then just so we can get this to an 8.3. Like if I give it like a 9.9 or some shit. It would work. I don't think it's that great though, but still.
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
think
good.
it 9.9. The next beer is actually better than I can.
It's like, like I'm kind of stuck.
This one could be good. Yeah, this one's called Florida Man. And when I was reading,
oh
it was
boy.
based on, they said, the world's worst superhero, Florida Man. You know,
Okay.
it had some kind of description of a Florida Man.
I feel like that's terrible all around. The beer might be fine, but they should have just chose differently. Do better. Thinking about rankings and shit. When my friends they do the podcast about Lost, and when they give the score for each episode, I know I've mentioned this before in the past, but it's like they'll give an episode like a 9.8, and they're like, oh, that's kind of low. It's like 9.8 is near perfect if you're doing a scale of 1 through 10. It was like all the episodes were like nines. It was like, I love that show very much. Probably my favorite show next to Sopranos. Have you started that yet?
No,
Fuck
but
with.
I do give Lost would probably be my second favorite show. It,
Um, they
that's a double recommend.
Sopranos is probably my number one, and Lost is my number two, and Breaking Bad is probably three.
And I think I'd probably put that as three. My number one Black Sabbath.
Of course, but you haven't watched Sopranos,
True.
dick. But every time they give scores, it's like they're all in the nines. I'm like, yo, you got to give some parity, man. Even that's the thing. It's like 9-1, 9-2, 9-5.
Yeah, that's what I hate about like the NBA dunk contest. Almost everyone's first dunk is like all nines. Like there ain't no way that's a nine. Then so in the older dunk contests, they would give tens out all the time.
Like all the time.
You telling me those were equal dunks because they weren't?
No.
But you messed up because you done gave the first guy a 10.
That's why I don't like the dunk contest. It's like anything that you're given, anything that has judges for it, like judges alone for the score. I don't like it at all. I also don't. Someone, I saw a post on Instagram today. Not today, but like last week, some young lady was talking about. I guess one of her teachers at school told her, essentially, if it doesn't have a ball or involve whatever, it's not a sport, it's a hobby. And I'm like, well, no, there are lots of things that are sports. I mean, do you know the definition of sport? Because that's the first thing you got to understand. But the thing is also, I get it with things like Mr. Universe or Mr. Olympia or whatever the fuck. It's like, is that a sport? No, it's not a sport. It's a beauty pageant. Figure skating, they're athletic for sure. Is it a sport? Sure, why not? But I still don't count it as anything important because there are three motherfuckers over there with a fucking scorecard saying, "Oh, she did a triple axel better than that other girl." Like, fuck you. Like, they both are fucking awesome. So you mean to tell me that you can't give them both a fucking 10? Like, you're a bitch. And I'll say, you know what?
Olympics be scoring tight, real hard.
Like, look,
she got perfect performance, man. 7.
ice skating is on some shit, but I will always stand behind Tanya Harding what she did. Because she said, let's spice this fucking sport up. So she said, Jeff, go hit that bitch in the knee. And he did. And then his fat friend snitched on him. And all this shit broke out. And then we got a movie called I, Tonya. Go check it out.
Did he go to jail?
Jeff Galooly? Yeah. Yeah,
So,
he did some jail time.
Damn, over time.
Yeah, son. I mean, but yo, that trailer love be deep, son. Yo, when you deep from the trailer like that, yo, you'll do anything for one of them Trailer Park girls.
Trailer Park Queen.
Yeah, rough. I mean, I did a couple girls from the Trailer Park. I didn't want to say which one, but I did.
Some of them trailers look pretty tight on the inside, and then it's just that whole thing of like, when you gotta give your address out. And you just say the street name. Is that a trailer park?
Like,
It's a trailer park.
it's like, we can travel with our
It's a
home.
park.
So are you fucking gypsies? I think that's derogatory now. I don't think we're allowed to say gypsy no more.
Gypsies because of Snatch. Those are tight gypsies.
That's doesn't mean that you can say the G word.
You can't say gypsy now? I don't even know. Weren't they just
Apparently.
traveling
Apparently, you can.
like hippies?
I don't know,
Can
dude.
say hippie?
I don't care if we can because they can't beat me. But I'm scared of gypsies, so I'm not gonna say it.
That shit's wild when you watch online though, the people arguing their gender. I just don't understand it.
It's peculiar.
I like this one.
I don't
feel like
hate
it's
it.
kind of similar.
I don't. It's a little. It's got a little tart to it. Maybe that's the wrong word, but it's got a little extra kick to it, of sorts.
There's more fruit.
I don't taste no fruit.
Like a more orange.
There's a more pungent taste.
Okay, we're experts. We don't even know what we're tasting. Pungent, sour, like orange.
Aren't those all flavors? I don't fucking know.
Florida man. It's got a good percentage though.
Hold on, sorry, I was reading the text.
I remembered some other. That made me think of another movie. Oh, I was quoted in one of the yearbooks as saying, "If your life was a movie, what would it be?" And I said, "Who's the Man?" Which I had not seen Who's the Man at the time. Had I seen Who's the Man, I would not have said that. So Who's the Man was a great song by House of Pain, and I loved that song. And that soundtrack was really good. When I saw the movie, I got so excited because there was so many cameos of hip hop artists I like that you rarely see. And I was so disappointed. I was like, this is the dumbest. The movie's just a non-stop cameo. So like, how many rappers can we fit in a movie that just makes no sense? So Dennis Leary's he's in that one too.
There's a trend. I'm like, telling you. Sure. Yeah, I mean, you were the target audience. They said, get someone. Steve was like, ooh, who's the man? Dad Lover, Dr. Dre. Gotta watch it.
No, they had literally everyone.
He was like,
Gangstar's in there, the Humpty Hump's in it.
Yeah. Oh no, I remember. Because
Queen Latifah, I remember.
Because it was an MTV production, so it was on MTV all the time. It was like, God damn it, dude. You know what else was on MTV?
A hip hop whodunit, that's what they call it.
It's a hip hop do not. Like, you know what else was on MTV all the time? Joe's Apartment. I don't know if you remember Joe's Apartment.
I remember the beginning to it. Didn't it have like bugs or something?
No, those are called cockroaches.
Right.
That's
bugs. All I remember. I think once I saw that, it got turned off. Like,
yeah. I'm having nightmares now.
So I don't even know what that was about. Was it animated?
The roaches were like stop motion for the intro for the music, but I think it wasn't animated. No, for sure it wasn't animated. There was a real person. I want to say it was the fat kid from Stand By Me, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. But I like to say he was in everything.
Oh, Jerry.
No, his name's the fat kid from Stand By Me. that is
O'Connell
his.
Guy?
He married Rebecca Romaine.
Who's the guy in Ozark? Is that him?
No, that's Jason Bateman.
They all look similar to me.
White people. All white people do. Now you understand. Jason Bateman was in Teen Wolf 2. It's funny because like people know him from other shit. Oh, what's that show? Arrested Development. That's the big one everybody knows him from. It's like, oh, you mean the dude from Teen Wolf 2? And they're like, what? What the fuck is that? Because a lot of people don't realize there was a second Teen Wolf. It was his cousin. And it was called Teen Wolf 2, TOO. 80s and 90s were fucking wild. Oh, good grief. All right, man. We went to a fucking football game. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so Commanders.
It rained.
This was a big game for both teams. I think winner would be in the playoffs. So as of right now, we are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 teams in the NFC East. But yeah, unfortunately, when we got there, we had big tailgating plans. It was the peak of the rain.
Yeah. When we parked, it rained harder than it rained all day. I was like, yo,
it's kind of hard to tailgate in the car.
Yeah,
but we did.
Well, yeah, I wanted to drink more beer to get fucking lit up, and then I was like, oh no.
Yeah, see, it was raining so hard, then it lit up a little bit, which was still bad compared to the rest of the day. So we better make our move now.
There was a group of people tailgating in the rain. They had, there are a lot of people tailgating in the rain at the stadium, but where we're parked at, which I feel like if we go again, that's the go-to parking spot, honestly. Yeah, the price change was kind of disrespectful, $25, and they said psych, $30. But it was still a good, like, there wasn't, it wasn't congested. It wasn't, like, tough to get out.
We almost bought a pass, which with the Ticketmaster markup was going to be $81.
Fuck that. I mean, the only benefit to that, and it's not really a benefit, is you're, like, next to the stadium, but then getting out of there. It's like, really, dude? Come on. Like, what are we doing? That's why, like, in any of these games, whether it be Ravens or the Commanders, it's like it doesn't pay to really park, like, in the stadium parking lot, because everyone's there. So it's going to be hard to get out versus...
The Ravens have that one sweet thing where we had the sweet parking pass, because there's one ramp directly from that
yes.
That goes straight to 95, and you're like, what the hell?
It just dumps you right off.
In the middle of the stadium, I got out faster than everybody. So they
great.
did their VIPs right. Like, they thought about everything.
They knew.
And Raven Stadium never are really to get out of. The way to go at Ravens even is just parking in the garage, not necessarily at the stadium, just nearby. Which, I mean, Ravens had that Ravens walk, which is always fun. But yeah, the game was good. It was really the first quarter we were getting rained on pretty hard. Then it cleared up pretty good. I hadn't been to Washington State in a few years. It seems like to me it looked better than when I last remembered. I mean, they got some shitty things happen last year, like pipes bursting on people's heads. But it was a good view, even like us being high up. I felt like almost like I always thought the Ravens Stadium there's no bad views, and I was like, this is almost a better view than I had with the Ravens. Something about I don't know, we were high up, but it didn't seem like it was super far.
So we were kind of like off on a corner, but it didn't feel like we're off on a corner. It felt like because we could see both sides of the field pretty easily, but I don't. I mean, the initial ideal was okay. Let's get these cheap tickets and then we can move down. And there were spots because I was scouting out. And I was like, oh, we can go there, we can go there, we can go. Trying to get under the canopy if it rained. But I think get to a certain point where you're like, you're invested in the game at this point. I was like, why move? Like, just stay where we are type deal. But it was a good view.
The crowd wasn't far from sold out. It was a shitty day.
Mm-hmm.
But they were loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pulled out the win in a miracle. Atlanta was running all over us, which normally we have a good run defense, but Atlanta does those freaking read option type runs, and they're tough to guard, especially when they got three good running backs and Mariota can run. It sucks in fantasy if you got any of their receivers like I do, like Drake and Pitts is out for the year now, but they don't throw a freaking ball.
He's been out for the last 2 years.
I mean, I would get saved with Drake London getting one catch for 2 yards, but a touchdown at least. Like Swift does lately.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the
Swift attack.
6 yards, what a touchdown! But yeah, it looked bad. They had us first and goal from the 5.
Yeah.
Down 6, I believe.
What was it? Because Washington didn't score again, did they? I don't know if it was down 6. I can't remember. They needed a touchdown, I believe. Yeah, for sure they needed a touchdown. I didn't think they were down 6 though. I mean, it was more than a field goal.
Yeah.
This is great podcast.
Yeah, 13. Oh, it was 6, so 13-19.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
We could sound real professional. This guy doubted me.
You doubted me.
You made me doubt myself.
I don't make nobody doubt.
I'll believe in myself.
You made your own choice, son.
But yeah, so that would have, if they got the extra point, they'd be on 1 point. It was almost a disaster. And the way they're running, I don't know why they didn't run the ball.
Yeah.
All 3 times. All 4 times.
Probably because there was the expectation, though, thinking, oh, they're going to run, so they're going to stack the box. So then they realized they had Mariota, who can't throw a fucking ball.
It was tipped, I believe, by Payne. We couldn't see where we are. I didn't see the actual replay, but I believe it was Payne who tipped it, and then Fuller got the interception in the end zone.
Nice, yeah.
Win the game. Huge win for us. And now we play the Bears twice. The Giants twice in a row with a bye week in between.
Oh, winnable, son.
We could win both.
Yeah.
Hey, you just stopped Saquon, and we didn't stop Atlanta. The Giants are much easier to stop. They're not running.
Because they're relatively one-dimensional with Saquon. I mean, Daniel Jones can run on accident, but
they don't run that style of it.
Yeah,
He'll scramble.
But that's what I'm saying. He can accidentally run.
He might tackle himself.
So, but no, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. I owe you $10 for that poncho. Poncho out of the whole deal. I'm keeping it too. I'm gonna put it in the frame up here, above where we're recording at, because that one dude. I'm pretty sure you only had that one poncho. He's like, oh, I bought my last one. I bought your only one.
That dude was out in the rain and saw one poncho.
Hey, that $10 made his week. I'm sure you went and got some of that good Thunderbird, son.
Yeah, I was gonna say, really, got some 99 you did.
Ooh, yeah. Oh wow, a bottle of 99, a full bottle of 99. What the fuck, yo? Who would do that? I mean, if you really need it, I guess. But I mean, our alcohol choices were pretty solid. We had the little shorties of the Crown Apple before the game, delicious. The Jameson Orange was not my cup of tea.
See, I wonder too if after having it after apple, then maybe you switch to orange.
I think Oh, there's that fucking cricket on the wall. We gotta pause. I gotta kill this motherfucker. Oh. All right, we back. Sorry.
I went to the bathroom. I heard you screaming.
Because I missed. I swung at the cricket.
I heard, ah!
No, I was much higher than that, son.
Yeah, I can't do the high pitched.
I screamed and took off running, and then I lost it. Then Steve found him. I beat the shot of this cricket with this broom. It was my favorite broom too. And now the broom all broken and shit. I got to order a new one off Amazon. I think it was like $8. But
It still works.
Yeah, I mean it works. But look, the broom's not for me. It's for my wife.
That's rude.
I got an iron board too. So.
Is that a Christmas present?
No, I got her toaster and a sandwich maker. Well, she's the sandwich maker, but paninis.
Yeah, I always thought when someone says they have a wife, they have a sandwich maker.
No, yeah, that's true. You have a wife, you always have a sandwich maker. If you're wearing a shirt, you always have a napkin. Those are rules.
I've told people about your napkin, especially when you eat ribs.
Oh, yeah, napkins are non-existent. Fuck all that. Like, fuck you want me to do with a napkin?
Yo, I don't know if you know, when the second hot dog we got, I don't think you were with me, or were you, when I took a bite and just big ass mustard and ketchup just landed on my shoe?
I feel like you said something. So, look, man. Football stadium hot dogs be delicious.
I'm glad it was a black shoe.
The sandwiches or the hot dogs would be so good, yo, but they're so expensive.
Yo, did you see? It looks like in Baltimore in their Harbor, which they've been having that ice rink. They have it again, but then they built like a little, I don't know, like a winter festivities thing. I think probably good for kids and families. But one thing I saw that they have was like these German sausages. That should look banging.
I'm you know what's really weird about like the brats? Like, I like them, but for some reason, I feel weird like when I eat them. It's like I can't look at them. But if you give me like Italian, like, then they have to be hot. They have to be spicy.
So you like the Italian ones?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Italian girls are kind of cute, you know.
We're not talking about girls. Glizzies.
Whenever words just be happening now, like, because when the fucking hot dog eating contest was happening, people kept like making the memes talk about glizzies. And I'm like, what the fuck is a glizzy? Yo, stop changing words, yo. It's fucking cocks. All right.
Yeah, those memes that were big of like tricking girls, or like, no, the girls were trying to catch hot dogs in their mouth in slow motion.
Love to hear.
And then the other one where they put the hot dog in like the tube that's supposed to. You're supposed to try to catch the candy in your mouth, but then a glizzy comes out.
Yeah. It's goofy because I've seen that one a couple of times. Like, that's part of what I hate about the internet is like trying to make these viral videos that are supposed to be funny. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna dump a whole thing of M&Ms in my mouth, which I am known to like open a bag of Skittles or just pour the whole thing in my mouth. But it's like it's a bag of Skittles. I'm not gonna dump a tube of fucking M&Ms down my throat
with your eyes closed, try to catch it. Yeah, so I feel like I would know something's up. By the way, this game. Oh, what's the penalty? Anyways, I did a crazy parlay for fun because it's plus 1,100. So you bet $5, you win 60. Things are lining up though. I needed Taylor to get a touchdown, Harris to get a touchdown. They both do have the touchdown. Taylor's got to get 75. Harris got to get 60. They're probably close. I don't know about Harris. He always worries me, especially if the Steelers end up down. But I need this. I need the Colts to win by 2.5. They're coming back. Oh, did they get a first down? Oh, that's in favor.
Neutral zone infraction.
So they just got a field goal, but now they might take the lead. And we're on our way to the 2.5.
They're in the third. They're in the third. I didn't realize.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go.
Damn, I thought it was. I didn't think it was past halftime yet. I'll be paying attention to shit though. So.
Matt Ryan sucks.
Yeah, but I want Jeff Saturday to do well.
Taylor's running hard. Yo. He just had a run a few minutes ago. 6 people were trying to bring him down.
Yo, speaking of running hard, fucking Josh Jacobs came back.
Yeah.
Almost cost me my fucking game, yo. Motherfucker got 61 points for my fucking opponent. I was like, yo, get the fuck out. And then last week, the fucking dude for the fucking Chargers went off. It's like, yo, why is it back-to-back weeks I'm just getting beat by one player? Like, it ain't even about like, oh, they had a better team than me. They had that one player that went off. Meanwhile, I had multiple players go off. And I'm glad that as long as Yahoo don't fuck me over, I should win. But I'm gonna tell you now, if they take my points away again, I lose by a point. I'm burning
I think
everything
if it
down.
stayed the same today, you're probably good.
I don't know.
I remember CBS used to do that like overnight. You'd lose like a point or two. As the stats correct themselves.
Yeah, they can eat a dick. So as of right
Eat a
now,
glizzy.
I'm up 168.75 to 167.75. And we don't have any more players. The ironic thing is I'm going to record with this guy on Tuesday because we got to record a horror movie podcast episode. So,
Oh, I dropped it. But is there another penalty?
yep, penalty.
Wow, that was third down.
It looks like Jonathan Taylor's about to get that touchdown.
We does have the one, but I need that point, so let's go, Colts. I'm surprised this game is close, but I guess because Matt Ryan's playing. On my way here, they described Matt Ryan. They're like, it's painful to watch Matt Ryan. It looks like he's running on nails. I was like, damn. I don't even know what that means, but
like he's running in a way that looks like it is not comfortable.
Peyton Manning ran like every bone in his body hurt.
Because it did. Look at him. He looks like the kind of guy that wasn't built for
And he
running.
ran kind of like a camel. It looked funny. He did not look like a professional athlete.
No, not at all. That's why he didn't win the Heisman.
And he's pretty much the greatest quarterback ever.
They gave it to Charles Woodson because it was like, you look like an athlete. They're like, what do we look like giving that guy a fucking Heisman trophy? Fuck that guy. And then Charles Woodson went on to win a Super Bowl, have a Hall of Fame career. Peyton,
He sucked.
fucking loser.
He's got a career in comedy. I hope they make an Eli Manning
What was
movie
he
of
in?
him and that character.
He was just in something. Oh, he's on this Disney Plus show, the Santa Claus. So that one movie, The Santa Claus with Tim Allen, there's like a series called Santa Clauses. And like they're interviewing people to be the next Santa Claus, and Peyton's sitting up there doing an interview for Santa Claus. This is actually pretty fucking funny. Who would have thought that kid?
He could be funny. I love Eli though as that undercover college quarterback when he tried out for was it Penn State. That could be a movie. And he played that character well.
All right.
I can't remember the name.
Fuck.
But
Hold on, sorry.
Eli is undercover pretty hilarious. Cause he looked like the more dumb one.
Yeah, well, he always looks like the dumb one.
But I think that's just his look.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's just the way his face looks. Like,
It's like that question we had earlier. He's on the other extreme. He's quite intelligent, but looks a little not all there.
fuck that retard. All right. So, what other games happened this week? Were there any other fun games? I mean, we had the Washington game that we went to. That was a lot of fun.
I know you want to talk about the Ravens losing.
Oh, of course.
Did they just fumble? Or I get the information a little early. Matt Ryan fumbled. Wow.
Yeah, of course. He fumbled because we were talking about him. He said, fuck y'all.
All right, I think they recovered it, though.
Fucking loser.
Wow. You get a a gift like that, first and goal from the one, your quarterback fumbles.
Well, I mean,
do you want to talk about your boy, Matt, Russell?
oh, God, no, I don't, actually. God, I want to
They
fucking
got
punch that.
stomped by the Panthers, 23-10.
Face. I want to hit him so
So this
hard.
is one of the few times Denver's defense played pretty shitty.
Yeah,
I know they were yelling at Russell. But I think I saw something though, like how historically bad they are today on offense. That if they scored like 18 points a game, they'd be like 9-3.
Like he's sitting there on the sideline whispering, "Let's ride," and these motherfuckers just mad at him, like, "Let's what? Let's what?"
Yeah, what the fuck happened to Denver? Denver is supposed to be nice this year. They got Russell, and now they just let Melvin Gordon go.
Oh, that's good too.
They stuck with a quarterback. I mean, I wonder if they'll try to do like Wentz and the Colts. Like, let's just get rid of him. Let's trade him for a third rounder.
Send him to Washington.
No, if he goes to Washington, I don't think that would be hard for me to cheer for them. That would be really hard.
Dude, if he goes to Washington, I'm moving. I'm just gonna pack my shit, sell the house, and go. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I dropped it. So after I looked at my fantasy numbers, because I saw Aaron Rodgers wasn't doing that great, and I went to see, like, Russell Wilson can't be doing worse, right? He was. He was very much so doing worse. And it's like, how? Like, Russell played a full game and still did worse. Aaron only played, what, 3/4? Like, Jesus Christ, Russell Wilson sucks. The Broncos suck. But hey, look, the Raiders won. Just wanted to shout that out.
The Jaguars beat the Ravens. That was wild because the
better.
Jaguars went for 2 to win that game.
The Jaguars say, you know what? We're not scared of anything you can do.
By the way, I've been starting Zay Jones all year. This mug gets like 8 points, and then he gets a freaking 145 all of a sudden.
Hey, guess what? Quarterback's on my bench.
Yeah, this is rude. When it shows the game leaders, Jaguars quarterback leaders, just blank.
Well, my quarterback was Trevor Lawrence on the bench. He scored 33. If I would have put him in,
that was probably his best game.
The
Ravens.
He said this was only the second time he's thrown for 300.
Oh, they let up. They've lost a lot of leads this year, late. But yeah, then Tucker had a chance to make a 67-yarder. He didn't.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have made that
Yeah,
one against
once
Detroit.
again, I think the Ravens are seriously lacking a receiver. What else we got? 49ers won 13-0. I think they're gonna be in a run for Super Bowl. Cardinals edged out. I mean, the Chargers beat the Cardinals in the end. Nothing. What do we got?
Who's quarterback for the
Oh,
Cardinals?
Jets destroyed the Bears. But the thing with that was Mike White looked like a freaking all-star again.
Mike White looked like fucking Tom Brady back in 2005.
So the Jets get this kind of even half of that performance.
I think
they're gonna be
2005
hard
was
to
when
beat.
Brady was hurt. Never mind. But still, yeah, Mike White looked good. Good for that guy.
Vikings beat the Patriots. Big loss for the Patriots.
Yeah, because they're
Lions,
floundering right
you
now.
mentioned, could have beat the Bills.
Should have beat the Bills.
Freaking Cowboys beat the Giants. More points than it should have been.
Not shocked.
Bengals edged out the Titans without Mixon and without Jamar Chase. And that puts them even with the Ravens. And the Titans were a good team, so that was a big win for the Bengals.
I think the Bengals are now warming up at the right time. This is about to get real fun.
Yeah, I think the Bengals might take that division, especially is Chase coming back soon.
He's supposed to be back. I thought he was supposed to come back this week.
I don't know what happened to Mixon, but he wasn't out till that day. That hurt me big time in another league. My running backs were, I think I had to go off Swift and Kenyon Drake. I think Kenyon Drake got .2s. We looked at something like that.
Awesome.
Either gets 20 or less than 1.
I ended up, I think a lot of people ended up dropping Allen Robinson. I think he's out for the year now. But it's like, even if he weren't, he sucks.
I had to start him last week out of desperation. He got a touchdown, thank God.
Yeah. Well, same. I had to start him that week. Fuck that guy.
But yeah.
Most of the players.
I guess that team's done.
The Rams, yeah. Good for them, because Detroit
What is
gets their first
Stafford's
round pick.
injury? Hurt feelings?
Nah, he used to play for Detroit.
He's like, I should have left last year.
He's like, I
But
should
while
have
I'm
retired.
ahead.
I should have retired on top. He could have. It's like him and Tom Brady. They should have both retired after they won the last Super Bowl. He's like, I'm out.
I think if I was them, just like, Cooper Cup's not playing, yeah, I'm out.
Well, I mean, I think that's what it is. Cooper's hurt, so am I. It's like, what's your injury emotions?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to make, we got things tightened up a little bit for the playoffs. Like I said, with Cincinnati and the Ravens now tied. Ravens have the tiebreakers.
Dumb.
Minnesota won, so that puts them, that keeps them 2 games ahead. And could potentially, they're only 1 game back of the Eagles, so Minnesota could potentially get the number 1 seed. San Francisco looks super dominant. I don't think they're going to be able to catch up to get the number 1 seed, but I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. Damn, they're 4-0 in their division, 6-2 in the conference. So they pretty much own the NFC.
So I think also with San Francisco, they're in the perfect position to be that team that, they're going to be in a position where nobody's expecting it. Well, the teams are expecting it, but it's like they're basically going to be able to wreak havoc on all of the NFC.
It's wild as they've been winning with CMC, but CMC hasn't been doing that much. And it's like maybe they could have kept Jeff Wilson, who looks. And then I didn't realize too of like how both running backs from Miami were from San Francisco.
Yeah,
they're both doing good, and they might be in a better situation. Miami looks real good.
Yeah, well, That could be a fun one. I like to see San Fran and Miami.
That shit would be funny. Because
Yeah,
I
I'd
think
love to
they
see
tried to start some drama of Mostert, saying he has got a good quarterback now. He didn't say anything about Jimmy. He stopped doing all that.
dummies. They like they always.
But he
try to
should be
build some
better. I mean,
drama.
San Fran got rid of him, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then Miami went and traded for the guy that was in front of him on the depth chart over there.
now he might be ahead of him again. Because luckily I have both of them. But most starts awesome, but he's always hurt.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the game though.
He was a glitch in Madden. He was like the only running back with like over 95 speed.
Oh well, too bad. Too bad Madden isn't played right here on the screen.
We can play
This,
Madden.
this is real motherfucking football. Most certainly.
Did I tell you about the Oculus game?
Yeah,
That shit was wild.
you were ear raping me with that last week too. At least I wanted
The
to hear.
game's so
I wanted to hear about
it's
that.
too
though.
easy, but the view and the future of that's gonna be awesome.
But I don't think they're looking for hard right now. I think they're looking for the visuals first. Like,
Yeah, I
does it
mean,
look
they need-
pretty.
Oh yeah, I mean the fact that it looks good, this good, and it's the first iteration of it is damn good. All the players have the same face. You're either white or black, and you have the same face. But
Did you say a white or a black?
Yeah.
Because that's super racist.
that's what they did.
No, I mean you said a white or a black. I feel like that's.
Well, no,
you
all
could
the
just
white
say-
guys look the same. All the black guys had the same face.
That's what I say.
You
with
have
all the
one or
white
two
guys. I say
characters in
all
the
white people
game.
look alike to me.
But you get that 3D perspective that makes it look much more realistic than a Madden. The 2D.
Ooh. Oh my goodness!
Okay, Colts about to score again.
No, they're
They
not.
keep
They're about to
fucking
fumble.
up.
They're about to fumble.
Matt Ryan's about to throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah, and he's gonna be excited. He's gonna be happy. Like I did good. It's like, no, Matt, you did bad. You dumb fuck.
Yo, he literally looks like an elderly person playing NFL. Like he doesn't look. He looks like he should be in the. Yo, remember we used to talk with our basketball league. Like we should play in the old. Can't wait to play in the over 30 league, but then we couldn't play basketball anymore. Really.
He was like, yo, we should play in the over 30 league. We got over 30. It's like, ugh. Why is everything hurt? Meanwhile, other people over 30 are fucking balling. We're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, we were like, we're gonna run that league.
Nah. Well, I remember we played that one like older team and they just beat us with fundamentals. Just like basic basketball. I was like, oh my God. Like, what are they doing to us? Just
Yeah,
pass-
them looks took no bad shots. They didn't even move. They just passed the ball
Yeah.
stationary.
They barely dribbled. Just
They had
passed the
us
ball.
running on the rope, just passing like, oh yeah, let's make him run to the inside and just kick it back out for a wide open three.
Actually, it's quite embarrassing to think, not because of losing, but just how crisp their fundamentals look and how silly we looked. I was like, oh my God. Like, we're young and athletic, and these guys are like, oh, grandpas
We
and
had a
shit.
certain person on our team probably talking mad trash, and then missing shots.
He would have those occasional games, though, where he couldn't make them.
Oh no, there's more times that he couldn't make them than made them. But the times he really made them he was obnoxious with it.
Of course.
There was one time we played an old team, but this old team was not fundamental. We absolutely were destroying them. And my brother likes to call out this game because he just found it funny. Like, we're up by like 30, and our friend's shooting 3-pointers on fast breaks and going, want another one?
Get grief. All right. So yeah,
They're looking at us like, no, not really. We're just here for fun.
we're just like,
We just wanted some exercise.
we wanted to get out. We wanted to get away from our families. Like, that's all. Like, why are you so mean to us? Well, what happened here? Let's see.
Oh,
Pittman.
Pittman. Okay.
All right, do
So
I
the
have him
Colts
somewhere?
to-
Oh, I think I do have him in one of my leagues.
Provided they make the extra point, the Colts will take the lead.
They won't. There's a lot of missed extra points this weekend in a lot of different sports. I guess football is really the only one.
Yo, there was.
But there are a lot of missed extra points, whether it be Thanksgiving, whether it be
I believe the
Sunday,
Eagles and the
and
Packers game, they both missed one early.
Detroit and Buffalo also missed extra points. This shit is wild. Oh, they made it, surprisingly. All right. Yeah. So
You want to rate this beer?
yeah, let's go
We
ahead. Let's
crushed
do
it.
that.
So this one's called the Florida Man. Or Florida Man.
Tastes
Double IPA. And it's out of
Tastes-
Cigar
tastes
City,
like it had a
Tampa,
little bit of
Florida.
to it.
So they tried to be funny with it, I guess, trying to describe some Florida Man.
They
I didn't want to
shouldn't.
write all that down because it was a lot.
Good.
It sounded like they were describing Crocodile Dundee to me, though.
Sound like they're trying too hard to be funny when they
Yeah.
really aren't.
I mean, and there's nothing on the can about
Like
it.
most
So
women.
they wrote a great story, but it's nothing on the can.
Dummies.
Except it does say, it says, to pay tribute to the world's worst superhero, Florida Man. I'm guessing there's not really a Florida Man comic book.
No, there's. They can shut up.
So, good about it. It's a double IPA, and it's brewed with, it's a moderate bitterness. That's all I got on that one. It has they described it as a nearly criminal amount of hops, which then I was like, does that mean it's really low or really high? I would have thought high, but I thought the more high, the more amounts of hops, I thought the more bitter. But they're saying it's not that bitter.
I thought it was a little better.
I thought it tasted kind of like an orange IPA.
I did not.
Like the orange peel taste.
I did not.
So that shows how good our palates are.
My palate's fucking immaculate.
But what we really care about, it's 8.5. So we did a 9.5. Now we got an 8.5. I thought it was pretty good.
I thought it was decent enough, especially at 8.5. I'm going to give this, I don't know if I would buy it, but I would recommend it. I'd give it a 7.2.
So I gave the first one a 7.6, and I think this is similar, but then there's the 1% lower. But 8 is, honestly, 8 is probably the sweet spot. 8.5 is like, that's where it's at, I think.
Yeah. You give me an 8.5 and I'm good for the night. Like, I'm actually feeling a little.
So I'll go 7.4.
It's a friendly score. It's not hateful. So yeah, it's fucked up because there'll be times where we'll give a good score, but now talk mad shit about the beer. So it's like if they're ever listening, they're like, oh, what the fuck that guy.
Well,
they gave us a good score.
We do a better. We talk it up, and then the score will come low sometimes. So you'll be like, I like this one. It's not bad. It's not hateful. 6.
I mean, if you got piss poor alcohol percentage, yeah, fuck you. It's got to be a 6. You can't be any higher. So they're welcome.
But yeah, I mean, even when I write it, it's very few times I don't try to say something positive about it. But there are a few that I've just been like, yo, this was not good. I've added maybe we got a bad one.
I feel like I'm positive for the most part. I mean, if there's one that I'm super negative about, for a fact.
Whenever we give a good or 8 and above, I'll tag the place. I used to tag them all the time. And I was like, they probably don't like their 5. We're not going to gain anything from that.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah, we're going to get blocked.
Yeah, well, I'm used to it by now. Story of my life, getting blocked. So yeah, Instagram paid me last week, but they ended up paying me more than what they said they were going to pay me. And I'm wondering if maybe there is a weird glitch where they're saying I'm not eligible, but I might still be accruing earnings. We'll find out.
Maybe they messed up last time.
So it shows. Well, it shows error whenever I go to look at why I'm not eligible. It says unknown error. Check back later, and there's still nothing that works. That's telling me anything. So maybe there's some glitch, and I'm we'll see at the end of December if I get paid. If I get paid, I'm taking it. I'm gonna go buy some drugs. If I don't, then oh well, not getting no drugs. But either way, I am proud to say, I'm only a few follows away from 100,000 followers on BJJ Wiki. So if you follow, thank you. I appreciate you. And Ultimatch just crossed 10,000 downloads. So if you listen to that, thank you. I appreciate you. You really help us out. More so me.
I got to go to a Commanders game. Yo, real quick.
Thanks, Instagram.
You've seen the Brian Robinson hat.
Oh, yeah.
The giant hat.
Yeah.
That shit's going to take off, I think. Those type of things.
Yeah, people like
there hasn't been
shit.
A goofy thing in a while. There it is.
People
the
like
big hat
shit,
thing's coming.
Yep. Thanks, Brian Robinson. You dumb fuck.
Which it did point out. I was like, why does this look familiar? And finally, someone pointed out, friggin', what's that movie? Spaceballs. The giant Darth Vader helmet.
Yeah.
It does look like that. I could see that one catching in. I feel like having a big hat. I don't want to wear it, but I feel like if you were like a collectible type thing in your house, that would look kind of cool.
It's a cool prop.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, it's and to point out, someone did post too of like, all right, if you're gonna make fun of the big head, keep in mind Green Bay wears friggin' cheese on their head.
yeah,
It's like,
no
yeah, I'd
shit.
rather wear the giant ass baseball cap.
In Green Bay's in Wisconsin. Just always keep that in mind too. Oh shit, we got more beer.
I do have a extra Miller Lite if you want.
No, I'm light right now. I'm still fucking recovering from yesterday, dude. It's not like we got like fucking completely alcohol poisoned,
Yo,
but
we took a big nap when we got home.
oh, dude, I was out in the car. I didn't realize I was asleep in the car, and then when we got home last night, I was sitting there like, okay, I got to do story time with this kid tonight. But how am I going to do story time with this kid? Like, I don't remember reading stories with her last night, but I did apparently. And then I still had to edit off the mats from Monday. And I was like, oh my God. Although, to be fair, it was an easy episode to edit because it's someone I've recorded with so many times. We already kind of know the timing with each other. We know that there's always like kind of a small gap. So I don't, we kind of have that worked out. So I didn't really have to do a whole lot with that. But I was hurting last night. I think I would sleep at like 3. So, sorry, I wasn't hurting too much. Although I do need to probably figure my fucking sleep patterns out because this shit's not healthy. Like, Sarah actually had to call out of work tonight. Like, because what she does is she works at night. She came home this morning and went on a field trip with my kids. She's been gone all day. She called me at like 5:30. She was like, hey, I lost my wallet, da da da. It turns out it slipped underneath her car seat. So, no big deal. But I think that was just enough to fuck her up, and she was already exhausted. She was like, I can't go to work tonight. I'm just not going to be able to do it. I was like, well, if you can't do it, then don't do it. Don't force yourself to go in. She was like, yeah, I'm like nodding off behind the wheel earlier. I was like, yeah, don't fucking go to work. What the fuck are you doing? Granted, she gets to sleep at work, but still, it's that drive in, that drive home, and then the repeat and do it again, tomorrow. So, like she texted the lady, and the lady was like, hey, I'll send you an Uber. Sarah's like, girl, I'm more than 50 miles away. What the fuck is wrong with you? But that was, and I think we kind of had a different view on it because I was like, could you imagine being so like, it's like you have a kid, like, but you pay for other people to take care of it. It's like, could you imagine being so wrapped up in that kind of mindset where it's like, oh man, I'll do anything to have you come in tonight. That was my line of thinking. Sarah said, no, it was that she's a very sweet lady, so she's thinking, oh, you had a bad day. I'll get your Uber out here and take care of you. And I was like, but also keep in mind too, it's like she just worked for you last night. She came home, and granted, none of this is that lady's problem by any means, but it's like she came home, on a field trip with her kid, hasn't been asleep yet, and your expectation is for her to come back in tonight, which it should be her expectation. It's her fucking job. But I told Sarah, I was like, don't do it, don't go in. Like, I'm telling you, don't go in. And I'm not the kind of guy like, I'm going to tell you what to do because I'm the man. Patriarchy rules. No. But just health wise, I know because I don't sleep at all. I have a piss poor sleep pattern, and I still go to work, and then I yell at people. Sometimes I call people dumb. Like, not like directly, but like if they say something. Like this one lady said something. Oh, what did she say? It was like, you mean to tell me you were willing to let me go so you can get more money from somebody else? And I was like, ma'am, the way that you just phrased that, yes, that's exactly what we would rather do. I was like, this is unbelievable. I'm moving out. I was like, now you get it. So I say shit like that, especially when I haven't been sleeping. I'm like, fuck you. What are you gonna do? Tell on me? Bitch, I'm like, bitch, I'm not scared. They're not gonna fire me yet. Like, they're gonna let me get 3 of those before they fire me. I'm like, Dante, you're fucking up again. Yeah, sue me. Like, they might. I don't know. So anyhow, yeah, that was good. Hey, Michigan won. Big game this weekend. Number 3 versus number 2. Who'd they beat? Oh, well, let me tell y'all. They beat the Ohio State fuckboys. Ohio State's been dominating Michigan the last decade or so. I think Michigan won last year pretty convincingly. I think it was like 48 to like 20 something. They beat fucking dog shit out of them last year. And then this year they came in as an 8-point underdog. They played at Ohio State. I mean, all the fucking things were stacked against them. They went in there and I was like, really? Oh, and their starting running back was injured. I was like, okay, cool. We hear you. We hear you. All right, cool. Ohio State was up, and Michigan was like, all right, we're gonna go up too, and we're not gonna fucking look back. They beat the shit out of them. They beat them. What was it? 45-23. Well, they like dug up in that ass. And and the best part about watching that game is my daughter loves to watch the Michigan highlights on Sunday with me, or after work on a Saturday. So this was the first time she got to watch a Michigan game live, and she cheered louder than I cheered when Michigan would like get a touchdown or a first down or some shit. Like I would clap and then she would just come like and run into the room. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, baby, it's okay. I'm glad you're enthusiastic. Thank you. Go Blue. He was like, yeah, they won. I was like, no, baby, it's halftime. They're losing actually right now. So no, they didn't win yet, but we got more football to play. But like I think one of the Michigan players, well, the quarterback like had a bad throw. And she was like, "Man, this guy needs to be pulled." I was like, well, baby, I mean, he's right now their only option, and he's got to put the team on his back. And at that point, he did. He would scramble, get first downs, not even sliding, just diving head first. I was like, fuck y'all, what y'all gonna do? Y'all ain't gonna do shit. But yeah, they beat their ass. Number 3 beat number 2.
That's a big win.
Yeah, and the way with the college football rankings go, though.
So that just put Michigan at 2. They won't knock them to 1.
No, because Georgia would beat Georgia Tech, which is crazy because Georgia Tech's not even close to being ranked. But so college football,
They're all undefeated, right? I mean, Michigan and Georgia.
Georgia's undefeated, Michigan's undefeated, and TCU is undefeated. So there's 3 undefeateds left right now.
I feel like TCU's always in that position. Then they don't do anything. They don't even get an invite.
They kind of TCU is traditionally decent, but they're one of those teams where it's like, I mean, who went there? Andy Dalton, he was the quarterback there. That's fucked up. I don't know why it's fucked up, but it's just fucked. There's just something fucked up about Andy Dalton being the quarterback there. But TCU, they're not like a powerhouse all the time, but they're usually in the talks. You know, they might, end up with 2 losses every so often, but more often than not, they're up there. But the way that the rankings work, because always the big talk in college football is like the SEC. SEC is the power conference. They're the best conference, blah, 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 blah. And, the last few years when they've like kind of set up the playoff, because it's a 14 playoff, they've always set it up where 2 SEC teams would get into the playoffs, but conveniently, both SEC teams don't have to play each other in the first round. They get to play a different school. So that way, they're probably going to win, and then they're going to play in the championship game. And everyone's like, oh my God, they've been winning all the championship games. Because, well, you've been putting 2 of them in a position where they both get to play each other in the championship game. And the thing that was really cool about the way this all shakes up now, so Michigan moves to number 2. Ohio State might move to 5, maybe 6. USC beat Notre Dame, so they move into number 4 now. So it is basically, as of right now, 1 SEC team, 1 Big Ten team. I think TCU's Pac-12. I don't fucking know what the fuck they play in now. Who fucking cares? Because they're going to fucking disband that conference. I don't even think there's 12 teams in the Pac-12. So, or the Big 12 or whatever, fuck. And then SC plays for the Pac-10, Pac-12, Pac whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. They need to disband that conference too. But the thing is, all 4 of those teams have to play their conference championship game. So if all 4 of them win next week, that's the playoff. If any of them lose, though, if TCU loses their game, I don't know who they're playing. That gives room now for Ohio State to slip in. If SC loses, again, Ohio State gets a shot in there. I think Benny Snell just scored.
Steelers just took the lead.
Benny Snell.
Pickett threw a pass.
Benny Snell.
Snail trail.
Son. Benny Snell just
the
scored.
Snell trail.
But no, it was at one point a couple weeks back.
Oh no, that was a run.
A couple weeks back, it was set up where it was like Georgia's number 1, Tennessee's like number 6, Alabama's like number 7, LSU was like number 5. So it was kind of positioned where any of those teams could sneak in. But I think Alabama's kind of far out. LSU just lost. I think Tennessee lost last week. So it's like basically all those other SEC teams are kind of out of the picture. Ohio State still has a chance to make it in, though, because, again, one of those other teams has to lose. Because I don't think they're going to fall that far back. And I can't remember. There's someone that's close in there it's a long shot, but they can get in. But I think in 2024, the playoff extends to 8 teams. So, which I like that.
Yeah, 18 is going to be way better. I mean, the other thing I hate, too, is how long it takes to play the championship game.
So I hated that because it was just a single game and not a playoff. They make all these excuses. Well, we can't have the boys out of school that long. What about March Madness?
Not even taking class anyway.
Yeah, no shit. Like beginners golf, pool management, get the fuck out of it. They ain't taking real classes. But I mean, also the NCAA, March Madness. That takes forever, but no one's complaining about that.
But also, how can they play a game? Like, they're still playing a game. It is the championship. It's more important, but there's only so much time they're allowed to practice and just keep the same thing.
So, and that's the thing with the college football playoff. I think their whole thing was always keeping the tradition of the bowls. I remember being a kid and kind of like I would always make like these little tournament brackets for college teams. And I just flip cards and shit and like, okay, this team won because they flipped this card or whatever. But I remember doing in my own little bracket, I was like, you can still keep the bowl games. Just make the bowl games part of the bracket, which is what they're doing now. It's like, okay, you get to play in the Rose Bowl. That's going here. That's the first round, and, the Orange Bowl, and then the championship game is like the Sugar Bowl or some bullshit. I don't fucking know. But, or it might not even be that. It might just be the championship game. But the whole thing is, give them 8 teams. I mean, how many college
and that's a little. Teams? And almost every single pro sport has slowly been adding teams to the playoffs.
So I think what I've always kind of thought about with college football is to have 6 power conferences. And however you divide them up, I don't give a fuck, but 6 of them. Your championship games for the conference championship games, that's round 1 of your playoffs. If you lose, you're out. There's no shot in. Beat it. You win. Now you move into the brackets. Now, of course, you're going to have 2 teams that are going to have your first round bye or a bye going after those championship games. The highest ranks, basically. But those other teams play your regular playoff like our, NFL, conference games for the playoffs and do it that way. That way, there's no bullshit of again, having the SEC have 2 teams, in the finals. Play each other. If you're all that good, play each other. Who's better between you? Then you move on. Look, if you're that fucking good, then you'll win it every fucking year against an Ohio State, a Michigan, a TCU, a Oklahoma, a Texas, a USC, UCLA, any of those fucking teams, Oregon. Which, Oregon was the other one that could have got in, but they lost Oregon State. And they're up, big. And I think they lost, in the last minute or some bullshit. So, but I love college football for shit like that. Because there is the crazy upsets that happen like that. But also that energy at a college game, it hits different, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to probably try to do Michigan, Maryland next year. Because Michigan's coming down here. Maryland went up to Michigan this year. Yeah. So
the energy of college is unmatched. And it's weird because they don't have the same viewership as the NFL. But that particular game means so much to that particular town.
Alabama, they don't have an NFL team.
It was pretty funny, not to talk about Everlast, but ESPN did a thing this weekend of Wisconsin's jump around thing, the tradition of how it started, and they invited him recently, and ironically, it was the Maryland game that he went to, and he was just like, at my age, I think it's kind of silly when you do jump around, but he was like, when I was there, the energy of everyone doing it was like I was jumping around like a fool again.
No,
he was like, they had me feeling like when I wrote the song.
That energy at college games is fucking bananas, yo. Even Navy, you go to a Navy game, you wouldn't think it, but you at the Naval Academy, you just fucking bopping with them.
And then the traditions there, that Wisconsin jump around thing. It's right when the third quarter turns to the fourth, and you don't know what's happening. Everyone knows when it's happening. Then you hear that sound. Fucking what's their stadium? I mean, 65,000, something ridiculous.
Maybe more. So college. That's the thing about college games too. Those stadiums, Tennessee and Michigan, 100,000.
Yeah,
easily.
and it's
Just like my followers on
every
Instagram,
single person.
100,000.
Damn, they're all in one stadium.
I got to get a picture
All
of
of that jumping around is crazy looking, and I'm surprised this stadium can hold all that.
So that's always
That's
like
what
a
used to be the
concern,
thing with
though.
RFK back in the day. Like the older people always talk about the stories of how the bleachers used to literally rock up and down because Washington's fans were so loud.
I think next year, because of course when I got home from the game, Sophie goes, "Dad, you got to take me to a game." I was like, "Well, baby, we'll look at a game next year." So I grew. Well, I wouldn't say I grew up, but I was in Delaware for a couple years. My grandfather worked at University of Delaware in Newark, and we used to go to the Blue Hens games because we lived across the street from the stadium, from the field house and everything. I'm like, well, we're about an hour and a half from that, and I would love. And we have like these throw pillows that Sarah sewed because my wife is a shit like that. That are Delaware Blue Hens, and Sophie recognized it. Also, I think one of like her earlier dresses that Sarah got her was a Delaware Blue Hens dress, so she's familiar with it. So I think we might take her out to a Delaware game, the Michigan game. I don't know if we're gonna do that as a group or if we do it as a family, but either way, I'm going to that fucking game. Because I missed it the year before. I can't remember, something goofy happened, and then there was another year I ended up having to go to like, I think it was like Yankees versus Orioles on the same exact night, and I had tickets to that. I was like, well, these tickets are free. Those Michigan tickets are not. So, guess we're going to go to that.
I think the only college I went to was games. I went to a few Maryland games, but they were not good at the time. And their stadium was the older one with basically like high school bleachers, which I've been to several times, but not during a game. It's Green Bay Stadium, which is friggin' beautiful. But their seats are like those benches down low, like the old school. And I think that was, I think the stadium now is like where the original stadium was, but like shifted a little bit, like because there's a mark in the Green Bay tunnel where they say the end zone used to be. So it's basically like shifted 10 yards. But the inside, when you enter Green Bay Stadium, is super modern looking. Like it looks like the Pro Football Hall of Fame, which they got so much memorabilia and trophies for, Green Bay. They've done a lot in their history. But when you get to the stadium, I mean, it's an old school stadium. And it's wild that Green Bay's outdoors. Probably one of the coldest places you can play.
Well, that's what we were talking about yesterday a little bit about stadiums that are still outdoor stadiums. It's like, yo, update.
Yo, I love a snow game, but I just feel like in the playoffs you can't be having a snow game where it's going to potentially even things up over a team that's really, really good athletic. So you got, like a player like Stephon Diggs. Well, now he's running in the snow, sliding around. It's the amount of unexpected things that can happen in a snow game are super high. It almost evens out the skill a little bit.
Yeah, a little. I mean, honestly,
it's fun though. I mean, that's old school football if you run the ball, but this modern day, I mean, you took like the greatest show on turf if they had to play a snow game.
Well, I don't even know if it's so much about evening it out as much as it's just like because the other team, it's like basically it puts everybody. I guess it does even it out in a sense, but it's not like okay, well, it's taking away their weapon. No, it's taking away everyone's weapon. And ultimately, I think it was like a Philadelphia versus Detroit game in the snow up in Philly. And it was one of those games where like everybody kept scoring. It was just back and forth touchdowns because the defense couldn't do shit. All it was straight line running. There was no cutting, no nothing. It was like you go out, you catch the ball, and you're gonna score. And that was the back and forth between those two. I mean, I like a snow game, but I also think I like the idea of a retractable dome. And the thing is, it's like don't always keep it closed up when it's cold. Sometimes let those elements in, son. Let the wind be a factor.
The weather's good except for the snow, to me. And if it's like just downpouring, close that shit for the game.
Yeah. If it's a downpour or like in Buffalo.
I mean, plus we got freaking fans, like close it.
So I remember when we used to go to the Ravens games, in the suite, and there was a charm to that. It was fun, free eats, free drinks. It was a fun time, all the same. But there's something romantic about going to a football game, sitting in the stands with the fans.
Oh yeah, it's a different vibe. It's like going to the concert when you're down on the floor in the middle, or you're standing up top in the balcony looking around at everything. It's a different vibe.
Yeah, it's like when we went to Baltimore versus New England. there was an electricity in the air that was terrifying. That's the one time I was like, I'm glad I'm in the suite. Because I don't want to be down there with those motherfuckers. But also, I remember the stadium was rocking so much. We were out on the balcony. That balcony was shaking. I got scared. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and step back inside. Just in case some shit go down, like the balcony itself.
The suite is nice though when it rains. And you're just looking down at everyone, peasants. Look at all those people wet.
Just start throwing peanuts on them. Eat.
Let me grab my beer.
You're lucky I'm feeding
I'm so
you.
dry. In fact, let me take off my jacket.
And just start pouring, like take a sip of your beer. Ugh,
Let me
gross.
get another one.
And just pour it out.
This one has too many bubbles.
I think I went to Maryland versus Florida State. I went to my buddy Matt. He had tickets for the suites because that was the first time. Like I went to the only time I went to a college game in a suite. But I remember going to that game. It was a blowout. But I think because did Sarah come with me? Maybe she didn't. So I had to have gone to another college game because I remember driving. And, you know, the college kids are tailgating. They're out in the parking lot being assholes. And I remember clipping someone with the mirror, the side mirror of the car. And I remember, you know, the guy, like, hits the back of our car and, like, starts yelling. So I stopped the car. I was like, what's up? Let's go. You know, and then they carried on and continued drinking. So I was like, oh, were they scared of me or were they just drunk? I was like, oh, they're probably just drunk as fuck. He doesn't even know he got hit. He's just hitting things now. But no, the college experience, like at those games, that energy is fun. Even going to the Delaware games, you would think like, oh, little bitty fucking Newark, Delaware, that's bullshit. Nah, dude, that energy, it was magic. And I guess the Naval Academy, you know, was fucking right around the corner from us too, for games. But still,
Towson.
That's not right around the corner for me. That's like 45 minutes.
For you now, yeah.
45 minutes for me, son. Like
when I went to Towson, no one was going to the games. And the stadium was like half built.
They play Delaware. That's a game that anytime we pay attention to that, if they come to town, it's like, oh, maybe we can go to that game. And it's like, all right, well, the timing doesn't work out for me work-wise or anything goofy, so we don't go. But I'm willing to watch Delaware beat shit out of Towson. Like, it's tradition. I like to see it. But yeah, that's all I got to say about Michigan beating Ohio State, other than the fact that they whip that ass. Fuck the fuck boys. I fucking hate Ohio State. It's not even rivalry week up there. It's hate week. They up there on their campus, they X out all the M's on everything. Every word has the M's X'd out. Fuckers. You know why they do that? Because they can't read no way. So they try to just make up for the fact that they can't read the word. Like, well, I can't read that word because there's no M in it. You couldn't fucking read it anyway, you fucking illiterate. Like, I had a cousin, I think she played basketball at Ohio State. I don't remember her name because we disowned her, but it's okay. Fuck her. My daughter already knows we don't fucks with Ohio State. She doesn't say that yet, but she know we don't do Ohio State as home. Even Sarah knows. You don't dare bring home anything that resembles scarlet and gray. If you do, you will be kicked out of his home. Amazing blew up in this bitch, son. What's up now? So yeah.
Snap. Yo, this game, Colts got the ball down 7. The only way I'm going to hit my parlay is if it goes into overtime. They give Najee Harris some more carries. He doesn't look like he's getting any more carries.
Nah.
This freaking Snell guy is getting annoying.
Nah, Benny Snell.
Yeah, who the hell are you? You haven't done shit all year.
Benny, you don't remember Benny Snell?
I know him.
Yeah, don't hate on Benny.
The dude's the backup, but he's got the most carries tonight.
Well, doesn't sound like a backup to me. Sound like he the new starter, son.
Damn, Kenny Pickett almost got more yards than Najee Harris.
Yep, you know why? Unreliable.
Yo, Najee this year was super disappointing because he was a high draft pick, but he gets a touchdown every week, just about. I mean, he gets like 30 yards and a touchdown. That's his stat line.
You know, we had sloppy joes for dinner tonight.
Yo, I made sloppy joes for the first time for Beth. She never had sloppy joes. She was kind of like thinking like I might not like them. First bite, oh, this shit's banging.
So when you make sloppy joes, which mix do you use?
So we did 2 recently. One was, so the second one was a bourbon style manwich.
Okay. That's what I'm asking. Sloppy Joe or manwich?
I think they were both manwich. So we had the original, then the bourbon, and the
Yeah.
bourbon was really, really good.
I don't know that anyone actually buys the actual Sloppy Joe mix. Everyone buys Manwich. I don't know that I've seen Sloppy Joe in the store in years. We still call it Sloppy Joe sandwiches, just like we still call
So-
Cotton Swab Q-tips.
What's wild is I saw a spice pack for it, and it said it was McCormick Sloppy Joe, but it was like the powder, and you got to add.
That was a disrespectful catch over the middle.
Okay, Coles.
Yo, was that yeah? That was
Flag.
Pittman. Yo, oh, don't take that. Don't take that away from him. You cannot take that away from him unless you're giving it an interference. Then decline that.
Yo, this ref looks like got a bad knee.
Interference. All right, yo, please show the catch again. Like
Decline.
he threw that shit into triple coverage because he's Matt Ryan.
So that one receiver, the Colts
There you
have
go.
Burks, I think is his name.
Give me my shit. He said, "I'm the man, but I can't do it one-handed." All right, there you go. Give me, bitch. I don't really see the
Yeah,
interference.
for all the
But whatever. I just saw a good catch. That's what I saw.
number 11. The number 11s are rare.
Nah, trash.
Colompton, son.
But yeah, like I always ask people like, what do you do, Manwich or Sloppy Joe? And most people actually don't even get the significance of that question because most people don't know about the Sloppy Joe mix. They just know Manwich, but they think that we call it a sandwich Sloppy Joe. It's a loose meat sandwich, but
Yeah, so like I said, the McCormick, I was surprised in that it said Sloppy Joe mix. So it's the spices, and then I don't know what you had to add. I'm imagining it was like a barbecue sauce or some tomato paste, at least something like that, because you got to have some kind of tomato base or something.
yeah.
You can't just have some spices.
So- I like the when I make it, I like to add a little bit of barbecue sauce to it. Give it a little bit of pizzazz. Sarah, when she makes it, she doesn't put the full can of the sauce in. It's like,
Oh no, you gotta put the full can. It's not sloppy enough.
Yeah, you gotta make it.
So-
So she wasn't doing that. I told her last time. I was like, I need you to put at least like the full can.
So yeah, the first time we made it, we had way more than a pound of ground beef. So we used the full can, but it wasn't enough can technically for how much pounds
How much
of meat.
ground beef did you use?
Oh, I think we made it. It wasn't a lot more, but I think it was a pound and a half more.
You should be fine.
Because I was just trying to use but it wasn't saucy enough. So then the next one, I was like, this is gonna be even better. But the bourbon one was maybe like you said with a barbecue sauce because it had like a little extra pizzazz. That shit was banging and
Oh my God.
and bad where she never had. She thought she wasn't gonna like it because we even made it with ground turkey, which so some people hate it, some people. I like ground turkey as long as it's not the 99% fat free one. It's got to have some fat. In it.
Yeah, it's a little too.
And she was like, "Yo, this is banging."
We've done it with ground turkey before. Not my favorite thing. I didn't hate it, but we didn't do it again. So if that's any indicator.
Wait, say that again?
So we did Sloppy Joe's with ground turkey. Like this was years ago. Like Sarah knows better now. I was like, no more. It's ground beef and ground beef only. Don't even get. I don't want grass fed. I want straight ground beef.
But yeah,
I want you to shoot the cow out there in the stable right now and ground it up. It better not be
Sloppy
a
Joe is one of
grass-fed.
my
I want it to
favorite
be corn fed.
things. You get a good bun, and granted, I am the type that will use sliced bread.
They ain't nothing wrong with that. That's childhood, son. That's poverty.
But if I want to go all out, you get the real good.
You gotta get
Roll.
potato rolls.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you get Sloppy Joe's on potato rolls?
And I don't think you'll agree with this, but you put a little bit of sour cream and onion Utz chips on it.
No.
You get that crunch.
So I will put French fries on my burgers. I'm not.
That's a similar.
I'm not above that.
Damn, French fries on a sloppy Joe sounds real good.
So Sarah likes to put sliced cheese on her Sloppy Joe. I'm not of that mindset, but I can see how it is.
Yeah,
okay.
so the bourbon one recommended a slice of American cheese with it, and I could see it goes well. I made it for Bass, and she loved it. And she was like, the American cheese adds so much to it. Me, I could care less about the cheese. I'm happy with the meat, so I didn't put it on mine. But I don't think it would add to me, but I think to certain people, I could see it too.
Yeah. Sarah. Oh.
Damn, sloppy Joes.
That was
And
a
I
terrible
was saying to
throw.
Beth, like, There's never been like we need a fast like I mean Roseanne was down.
Yeah,
The
the
lunch meat,
lunchbox.
the lunchbox.
Yeah.
Why do we not have a place that offers a sloppy Joe? Because I would get that shit.
I think
Coming home from volleyball, starving. If I can get a freaking sloppy Joe sandwich, heck yeah.
I feel like that has been tried before with places, but the thing is, it's kind of a niche thing. I mean, everyone loves a good loose meat sandwich, a good sloppy Joe. But the thing is it a consistent enough business? But I mean, you also obviously should have other shit like grilled cheese.
'Cause you should be able to make a damn good profit off it too.
Yeah, I mean, and not even just like loose meat, like sloppy joes, but like fucking pulled pork, pulled chicken, all that shit. Like fucking, shred that shit up, make it work, son. Make it happen. Hey, I'm hungry
Sloppy
now.
Joe.
I got sloppy joes.
Sloppy Joe.
I got sloppy joes upstairs. We have them for dinner. I was just sitting here. I was like, damn, dude, I might go make another two.
Sloppy Joe's where it's at.
God damn, dude, they're so good. And sloppy joes.
I might request that for my birthday.
Sloppy Joe is a low key struggle meal. People try to act like that's not a struggle meal. That's a struggle meal, son. But that's okay. People also go through those struggle meals. They try to forget where they came from. When COVID hit, we were like, yo, we can't get supplies. I was like, oh, get the butter noodles or get the egg noodles and some fucking tuna. We taking this back to fucking 2001, how we used to live when we had our first apartment. We ain't had no food for a week. Fucking bowl up some noodles, throw some fucking tuna in that some bitch. Yo, we eating like kings for at least 3 days. Well, not really. It was eating like fucking paupers, but still. Like, we felt like kings because it was like, yeah, we made this shit. And then we go out and get some fucking White Castles. But you know what? One thing I never really fucks with, like when we didn't have money, I didn't really fucks with ramen. I didn't get top ramen at all. I just wasn't crazy. I don't really fucks with noodles like that, though. Like, other than spaghetti and maybe some rigatoni.
Yeah, I've never disliked when I've had spaghetti, but I've never chose to eat spaghetti.
So I will request spaghetti, but the fucking meatballs. I'm very particular about the meatballs and the gravy. Like I gotta have like Litos, their sauce.
I almost think I've more times than not just had like spaghetti sauce and meat with no noodles. I don't know if you ever tried this.
That's
You
fine.
probably haven't. And you wouldn't like it, but it's actually really good. It's black bean noodles.
I'm not aware of them.
So one positive, one I think they taste really good. It's a little bit of a different,
That's a huge positive.
but it's 20 grams of protein
I mean,
for your spaghetti noodles. So it tastes pretty similar. I mean, it's a little different. I can't remember. I feel like maybe the textures. I don't know if the texture is that different.
so texture is a big
The
thing.
color
for me.
is obviously they're black.
Yeah, that would fuck with me.
It's a little different. But I'm telling you, I was surprised how
I
good
don't
they
fuck,
were.
I don't fuck with black like that.
I know you like the white.
Well, I wouldn't say it's preferred, but this is my wife.
Damn.
All right, it's kind of fucked
Whoa.
up, but all right.
You used to say some were handicapped.
Well, yeah.
The first time I heard you say that, it was hilarious. You're like, what?
I forgot about that. That's wild. Let's review.
You know she's handicapped.
Like she's what? Handicapped. What does that mean? Oh, 4th and 3. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, Matt Ryan's about to fuck this up. You can already see. He don't even know what the play is. Oh, you dumb bastard. What was the catch? Oh, they're going to mark it as a first down. I don't even know why he would have made that throw. That throw is dangerous. He threw it into traffic real short. They're trying to run that play so they can't challenge it. Hurry up. Run that play. Hurry. You dumb prick. Matt Ryan is a liability. Oh, he's done for. Oh, and he fumbled. You fucker. All right, never mind. All right, I'm done looking at this game.
Yo, Matt Ryan sucks.
All right, let's go ahead and review this beer real quick.
So we got this one's called Fresh Cut.
It's pretty tasty.
It's a dry hop pilsner, and this is our second beer of this company. It's called Peak Organic Brewing. So I guess it's organic.
Gross.
It's out of Portland, Maine,
That's gross too.
and they described it as this is an organic and a fresh cut sensory experience like a newly mowed lawn. has notes of fruit, grass, and spice.
Spice
as
he's
well.
on the run. He's on the run.
Yo.
Oh, he looked confused when
Oh,
he
he
was
did a
running.
crossover and somehow did actually get past that guy.
It was the slowest crossover ever.
He literally just turned right, but it worked.
I don't think he turned back. I think he just fell back. He was trying to cut back and just fell.
What is that? 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. We're back
They
at
need
it
a
again.
touchdown.
Why are you running the ball?
no.
Less than a minute left. Jeff Saturday, you're a trash coach.
I know Jonathan Taylor was a beast, but he's not a beast this year, really.
And relax on fucking 3rd and 3
There's your timeout.
with 35 seconds left. You run the ball. You fucking retarded retard.
There's where the lack of coaching experience comes in.
Let's see here. I don't know. I just felt like that was a dangerous throw.
I mean, it got tipped somehow. It still went there. When you throw it, when you
No,
don't
so
have...
here we go. He was like, fuck that. I got daylight. And then he
said-
goes to cut and falls. At least he got another step before he actually fell down. Now it's 4th and 3. You got to go for it, buddy. You don't have a choice. But guess what?
There's 30 seconds left, so this could be it.
Yeah, it's going to be it. It's Matt Ryan. It's going to be it.
Nah,
It's
I
done.
need to go into overtime.
Well, guess what? It's not going to do. You shouldn't have put all your hopes on Matt Ryan.
Most more say Najee Harris needs more yards.
Oh, you don't fuck. No flags. You're done. That's what you get.
This shit's always so funny. Flag. It's perfectly clean.
Where is this? In Indianapolis?
Yep.
That's what you guys get for hiring a fucking NFL analyst from ESPN for your new coach. Never ever coached before.
That's just wild. And then the owner, how he defended him, like, it's like, I know he's the right man for the job.
Is he though? I mean, they almost beat the Eagles. They did win his debut. So, I don't know. I mean,
What's he saluting?
I don't know. Hey, look. Okay, so Omar Epps and the Steelers is going to be 4-7. They could go on a run.
I think they're still going to be out, though.
No, I don't want them to make the playoffs. He hasn't had a losing season. He hasn't had a season under 500. So
They can make that.
I want that.
What's the winning season now? 9-8.
Yeah. So they
It's
can
got a
make that.
chance.
They can only.
They always
lose.
play their division games hard.
I mean, because they all hate each other. So that's what you do in the division. All right, yeah. Let's go ahead and review
Would
this.
you rate this organic beer?
What's this organic percentage?
4.6.
Gross.
But I mean, so I would.
You should
I
have
mean,
just
it's
lied
in
to me.
the
Party beer
Yeah.
section. I don't know if it's
I don't
organic.
know if you're partying though. You're really thinking organic.
Yeah, it's not a party beer. That's just
Yo, we about to play beer pong. Yo, Steve, you got some beer? Yeah, I got some organic. I got some organic peak.
gross. I mean, it's
And what
tasty.
does organic mean in beer? Isn't it always all organic?
No,
I mean, what's not organic?
I mean, I don't. What's organic? Like you're not using any GMOs and shit.
So they use it in beer?
I would imagine.
Isn't it just hops and like rotten shit in a pot for a while and it
Can
turns to
still
alcohol?
use like GMOs in your fucking hops. I don't know.
No, I guess.
I don't know. Look.
And it's dry hopped.
Like,
You know.
I'm gonna say. Look,
It's locally sourced.
even worse. I'm going to go ahead and say it because it needs to be said. If you are trying to use your beer as organic as a selling point, you're looking at the wrong crowd. And don't try to give me any organic tequila neither. This shit is dumb. The beer is tasty though. I like it.
Yeah, if you're comparing it to a Miller Lite, it's along those lines.
Yeah.
It's a Pilsner.
I think Miller Lite has a little bit more bite to it.
Yeah, I would take the Miller Lite over it. And I
Yeah.
got a Miller Lite right next to it. And the Miller Lite is better.
For sure.
It almost has a little bit of an IPA taste. And it's not supposed to, though. It's a friggin' Pilsner.
Because it's organic though. Maybe that's it.
But I feel so fresh and clean.
I don't know how to score this one because it tastes good, but that percentage is trash, and I don't like that it's organic.
It's supposed to taste like a fresh cut of grass.
That's even worse because I
It
didn't
does
taste
have a
no
little
grass.
bit of a grass taste.
I didn't taste no grass.
I did just.
But I was also just thinking about fucking sloppy joes though. So I'm not thinking about organic grass. I'm gonna give this 5.8.
Damn. I mean, I think
Wait, 5. If it's in the fives, that means I wouldn't drink it.
so. We
I
decided
can't.
7 was worth a try, like recommended.
Yeah.
We might not necessarily buy it, but it's recommended. Probably would buy it.
Yeah.
8 is highly recommended.
Yeah,
We've had very few. 6
6?
would be if someone gave it to us, we would drink it.
Okay,
but
so
we wouldn't pick it.
this is
We
over
would
6.
not pick it out.
I'm gonna give it a 6 even. Because if you hand this to me, I would drink it.
Yeah.
But if you try to tell me, oh, dude, I got this organic beer.
Yes, I think 6 is the lowest where you'd like. Someone hand it to you. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna drink it. Whereas there are some beers in the 5s and the 4s. Someone hands it to us, we might take some like half of it and then be like, it'd be off on the side somewhere. And you find another beer.
No, that's always the worst. When you find another date at the fucking party, it's like, well, I gave you that beer. Yeah, but this one's better. Like, but you came with me. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never
But I'm
forget.
leaving with
A
this.
certain friend of mine was talking to one girl and got so ripped. They started talking to another girl, but didn't understand that he was talking to another girl. Didn't understand what happened, and suddenly he brought me. Steve, what happened? I thought I was like we were going here. I was like, dude, you were talking to 2 different people. I was.
I've only done that
Yeah.
when I was on acid. and it was on the phone, and I was really confused. I don't actually think I was actually talking to anyone on the phone, to be quite honest. But I was told that I was talking to someone, but I don't know, shit got goofy. I'm going to give this an even 6.
I gave it a 6 too.
A 6.2 or 6.0.
6.0. I enjoyed it. The alcohol percentage is low, and like if someone gave it to me, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I'd be content.
But I'll tell you this. If you show up to a party and you say, I got this organic beer,
Oh, yeah.
it's immediately going to be a 4.
I'm gonna judge you.
If you're at a party and you give me organic beer, I'm judging the fuck out of you. And you better
Imagine that we're playing beer pong. Like, y'all want a beer? Yeah, what you got? I got Miller Lite and I got Fresh Cut.
Fresh
Cut?
If you hand me a fresh cut at a party, you better be able to fight. Because I'm swinging. Like, because I already know what it is. I'm just going to swing. And if you can't fight, oh well. You should have brought a different beer, bitch.
Yeah, that just kind of makes me think. I don't know. Does that make money? I don't know.
What? Organic beer?
Fresh Cut, like,
I don't know.
seems like a bad.
You bought it, so it made some
No,
money.
I didn't buy it.
Oh.
So let's be fair.
Oh,
They
even
actually
better.
give it a 5.9 because I didn't buy it.
Ooh, that might
This
change.
was given to me to
that's-
try it, and
so
let me
now-
just say I do like the taste.
So, but it was given to you, and it does fall into the category of the 6. Given to you, you would drink it, and we did drink it. So
Absolutely,
it makes
it's
a
a
6.
it is a good tasting beer.
It
Not
is.
as good as Miller Lite, but it's good.
So yeah, Miller Lite has a little bit of a bite to it, whereas this doesn't. But that doesn't take away from it because I wasn't going into this expecting Miller Lite. So
Yeah, if we're playing beer pong and this is all we got, we're gonna have a good time still.
yeah, no shit. So yeah, all right. Let's real quick talk about a movie. I don't know that I have any movies. I know that I watch movies, but I don't think I cared enough to really talk about.
I feel like
the
I'll have a
movies.
good one for next week because I started one today. That's first 30 minutes was great.
Yo, I don't know. That's like that's just kind of wild to me. It's like if I start a movie, I'm gonna go.
Oh, it's
through
because
the
I was
movie.
at that. Well, I had to
Like,
come here.
I can't my bad. Fuck you. Like I can't start a movie and be like, oh, I'll get back to this.
And I was
30
at the
minutes in.
gym, so I
Like-
just did 30 minutes of cardio. That's all I had.
Like if I start a movie, I'm all in. I'm balls deep. But if I only do half hour, guess what? I'm not doing the rest of that. movie.
And it was one of those Korean movies, which seemed to be usually quite good,
Yeah.
especially when America remakes them, and the American version sucks. Yeah, like
I can't
that,
wait.
again, a super underrated movie. Old Boy. It just
Oh,
always stands
okay, I was
out to
gonna-
me.
like-
That's one of those movies I've only seen one time, but stands out in my head quite a bit.
Oh boy, it's like a classic tale. Sometimes I like to just say classic tale just for the fun of it. When in
I think
reality,
which one I want to talk
just
about because this one was tough to understand.
I would say don't talk about that because
let's
I'm
go.
gonna check out.
Planes, Trains, and Autos. Have you seen it?
when I was a
So
kid.
it's
I
a
haven't seen
classic
it.
Thanksgiving
I haven't seen it
movie.
since probably the
Steve
fucking
Martin.
late 80s, early 90s.
John Candy. Watching it now, because it was something I always watched when I was younger, around this time of year. It's got some really cheesy 80s music that has nothing to do with the movie. But it's just one of those heartwarming, silly 80s style movies. I hear they're going to remake it. I could be wrong. Dang,
I wouldn't be shocked, though.
I feel like Brett said it was Will Smith.
No. Aren't we still mad at him for hitting Chris Rock? He's not allowed to make movies yet. He hit people. We can't just watch movies yet with him. Not yet. He's on probation for another 2 years, I feel. He can't make any more movies. Dick. Just walking over hitting somebody because you talk about their wife. I mean, yeah, I do it too. But still, not in front of, like, America. Like, because what happens if, like, he goes and swings on Chris Rock, he ducks that swing, and then Chris Rock takes him down and beat his ass on national TV?
So, as of now, the rumor is it will star Will Smith and Kevin Hart.
I knew. I was going to say, let me guess, Kevin Hart. Yep. I fucking knew it. I'd rather it be Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Oh, they are great together.
Yeah, like, give me that. Give me that. Don't give me
See, which one's gonna play the Del Griffin character? Kevin Hart probably, because Will Smith's the cooler one.
Of course. I think Kevin Hart's cooler. Hey, let him try to swing on Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart kind of thick. Smack the shit out of him, and he's short, so you know he got to swing down.
No, we got jump.
No, but Will Smith got to
Let's do
swing
like
down.
Lil Mac.
He gonna miss. And yeah, then Kevin Hart gonna be like Lil Mac from a fucking Punch Out, and fucking whip his ass like Glass Joe.
You ever see the Kevin Hart that little interviews he does in the tub?
I don't be looking at dudes in tubs.
What is
so
it?
no.
Cold as balls, something like that.
Even
Well, he's
worse.
had like Rondo on there.
Okay.
He's had some girls on there.
I mean, if they doing like an interracial porn thing, yeah, I'll watch it.
Yo, why do you
Some
have
weird
Marshawn
white
Lynch? And Marshawn Lynch still pretty much went in the tub with like socks on.
Because that's a Marshawn Lynch type of thing
It's
to
like
do.
such a Marshawn Lynch. I'm like, yeah, dude's wearing socks in the tub.
I wouldn't expect.
And I'm the type, I'm pretty much never barefoot. Bea kind of dissed me the other day. She's like, yo, your toes are like together because you always wear shoes and socks. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I mean, are they supposed to be like this? Spread out?
So no, but like strengthen your feet. Actually,
Oh yeah, I noticed skin. I have that blister problem. Like when I play basketball, and I noticed if I would walk around barefoot before Colompton games, just in the house, I would tend to not get the blisters. But if I forgot to do it, I generally would blister up.
I started once I started jiu-jitsu, 2015. I started walking around. Well, I would always work out and get on a treadmill barefoot anyway. But then once I got into jiu-jitsu, it became more of a thing. And part of doing the treadmill stuff and working out barefoot already strengthened my feet for being able to train and get on the mats. I still tend to wear socks a lot, but I do walk around. Well, I mean, like as we come into my home, we kick our shoes off. You don't, but I take my shoes off when I go to anyone's home. Respect. And that's just part of my movement, though, just not having the shoes on and strengthening my feet. But I remember when I first went to jiu-jitsu, I went to get a pedicure because I was like, I can't go in there with fucking busted looking feet. They talk about like, the skin between the toes because like I guess the dry rot or whatever the fuck it is. They're like, yeah, man, you gotta like when you take a shower, you gotta make sure you're drying between your toes more. And what really helped that was just not wearing socks as much, just kind of letting your feet breathe. I'm also really, really, really particular about my feet because, like, I think I mentioned this on the previous episode. We had one coach. He come in, he's got ashy-ass feet, and I'm just looking at him, judging him. But he's a brown belt, so I can't say shit. But I had another coach who made a very, very valid point. If your opponent is worried about your feet being ashy, you've already beat them. So I do take that into account, but I'm also like, I want to be that guy that I don't want to have like toenails that cuts anyone because that is a thing with jiu-jitsu is like good nail etiquette. Like I gotta cut my fingernails tomorrow because I'm training Wednesday. But don't hate on it, man. Walk around like not even barefoot, just without shoes on. Strengthen your feet because at the end of the day that helps a lot of everything with your body, like just having good foot strength, bitch.
Yeah, my in volleyball, I got both my nails landed on my big toenails. Both turned black. You know, you eventually lose a nail. So one, I lost a nail, and it's sort of almost back. But one, it's like it's been halfway back for like I feel like 2 years now. That shit just stopped. I don't know if it's going back.
Yeah, I remember like the big toe, like the nail on my big toe, something happened with it and it's got like an indent in the top of it. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah, that's basically what I have, like a dent, but it's not growing out. It doesn't seem like it's dead either, but it's just like it's just chilling.
Actually, I do one issue I do well, not anymore, but I've run into is like fucking broken toes. Like not like bad. Like there are kickboxers like Alex Pereira who just beat Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title. They showed a picture of him weighing in on the scale, and they're looking at his feet, and it's like, yo, those are kickboxer feet. Like his toes have seen better days. It's like, yo, those toes have seen hell, and fucking lived it, and fucking was like, this is my town, bitch. It's like looking at his feet, I was like, ugh. Like I don't like feet anyway, but like looking at his, I'm like, Jesus Christ. But I'm like super particular about like, I gotta like lotion my feet up sometimes. Sometimes it feels nice. It's just like, oh. Like, yeah, like I feel like I'm gliding on a cloud sometimes after that pedicure. I think I might go get a pedicure this week. Instagram. I still got a little bit of Instagram money. Like, I might go get a pedicure this week.
What's up?
We should
You
go
know how it's like
let's
cool
go get
now.
a Colompton pedicure day.
Getting your nails done. Would you ever do that? I mean, with the nail polish
Well, okay. Like clear or just a color?
color. That seems to be a thing now.
I mean, I'm not doing it because it's a thing. Like I have a daughter, so she's like, Dad, let me paint your nails. I don't care. Because my whole feeling, like, my feeling is this, and I know guys who are like, no, I wouldn't let my daughter do that, whatever. I'm insecure. I'm a bitch. It's like, paint my nails. I don't care. Like, I care more about, that bonding time with her than I do about anything that anyone could say about me having painted nails. Because at the end of the day, yeah, I got painted nails. The only people who have something to say about that's negative can't beat me. Promise you. Like, anyone who can beat me, more than likely ain't going to be talking shit about it. Because they're like, well, that's cool, whatever, that's what you do. It's like, I don't have to explain myself. I would have to like, yeah, my daughter did my nails. My daughter paint my nails, pink and purple, my favorite color. Like, if she did that to my nails, alternating colors, they're like, all right, cool. Whatever. Somebody got something to say about it? Can you beat me? Oh, no? You can't? Then sit down. Can you? Oh, you can? That's weird that, like, you're worried about my nails, son. All right? Really fucking weird. I'm not going to try to fight you because you beat me, but it's weird that you're concerned about my nails. But, no, I did I get a pedicure or a manicure? I don't think I got a manicure, but I definitely got a pedicure because, like I said, I'm, like, really weird about my feet. I'm saying, let's go hit up this Colompton pedicure day, all of us.
I feel like I might be quite ticklish.
Nah, you be all right. Like, I thought the same thing, too. Like, they're good. If they're good, they're not going to tickle you. But,
No, just
they just go, coochie. Steve kicked her in the face. Guy just, like, I'm going to go there and turn on my Google Translate. Let them say some shit about my feet. Like, oh, what the fuck you got to say?
That's a good idea. I need to try that at the barbershop. Just keep it in my pocket. I'll read it later.
You're like, what the fuck you say about my feet, bitch? I'll kick you in your head. Me, you, Brett, bring Bea. Let's all go. She can't translate, though, can she? I think they're Korean.
I don't think they're Filipino.
They're Korean. Never mind. It's all right. We can all go. Let's all go get pedicures. And then as soon as somebody say something, we look at Bea and be like, oh, she understand. She might not. But just fuck with them. But I think they can tell their own, though. Never mind. They'll look at her like, she's not one of us. I was like, how do you know? I was like, because we know.
Filipinos got a little bit. They got the Spanish look in them a little bit.
There's reasons for that.
It's funny because I guess Philippines was Chinese and then conquered by Spain, so they tend to be a mix of both.
Just like,
But I like to
Sicily.
find made in China stickers and stick it on the back.
Like when the Moors went down and bombarded Sicily. And
I wonder what I know. I have English and Irish for sure. Like my grandmother is the closest.
You never spit into the tube and sit there?
Nah, But my mom's mom was born in England, so she came here. She was, I guess, an immigrant. Everyone else, it's goes back further, and I don't know the history because no one's alive now to tell me. I guess if I spit in the tube, they'll tell me. But I do remember my grandfather was shocked to find, like, on my dad's side, that we had a little bit of French, which no, I don't want to hear. French suck at the wars.
It's funny because they don't though. they won like mad wars. They just didn't matter in the wars that we mattered.
Yeah.
You know?
So I heard that, and then my mom's dad, who died before I was born, has Irish, and then my dad, I didn't know for a long time that who I knew as my grandmother was actually a stepmother, and his real mother was, I think she left like the family when he was like 3 or something. So I didn't even know that till an adult, but she was Irish. So, and my dad has red hair, so looks Irish.
Scottish is a thing too. I don't know if you forget about those guys. They play some good golf.
That still reminds me of I'm gonna embarrass Juan, but we remember Heads Up, that game.
Yeah.
He had to do accent, and his accent was Scottish, but his clue, he goes, "I like it the golf." It's like Borat. The worst Scottish accent ever.
Now that I think about it, I don't know that I could do a Scottish accent.
I don't know.
But then again,
you used to do the Brad Pitt,
the pikey
accent pretty good. So I feel like if you did that, and if you got some guesses, you'd be like Irish, Scottish. It's gonna be like
someone's gonna guess something.
Guess it.
But
I like it the golf. I was like, besides the golf clue, I guess. But I was like, and then no one got it. I was like, Scottish. You sound like Borat.
What was I gonna say? There's I forgot, but that's pretty funny all the same.
Yeah, that made me laugh. Real hard.
My one friend, in Madrid, she's always like, she was trying to say something. She was like, "Oh, my American accent is so bad." She's British, but she lives in Madrid. And like she was like, "Oh, my American accent is so bad," and I was like I guess what I was like please tell me what that sounds like, because I'm curious. Like I need to know. But then, I always say, like, anytime I mention it to another friend, they always try to do this really fucking stupid British accent. And I just look at them and I blink. I'm like, you understand that you sound like a Down syndrome person, don't you? Like, you sound retarded.
And it's funny is when I hear a lot of, like, people from other countries do like a stereotypical American accent, it's the Southern accent, which is not, the majority of American. And then it's wild as Americans of like, I'm sure you've seen the meme of the college Southern girls saying what college they're going to go to, and you can't understand what it sounds like they're speaking a different language.
Yeah.
And they was like, sound, scratch cat. And I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And the guy who's imitating them after each time, he just looks like retarded. But yeah, the Southern accent, I'm not like the real Southern accent, like those girls are speaking, like I have trouble understanding what the heck they're saying.
I'm not,
they're speaking English, but I'm like, it just sounds so different from how we say it.
Honestly, when I think about like the Southern accent, I don't think anything of it. It's like I mean, my one buddy Pinkerton from Nerd Rage Radio. I mean, he's from Alabama, and when I hear him talk, I don't think anything of it. It does. He sounds fine. You can hear the accent there, but you don't think anything of it. And his wife, same deal. Don't really.
Yeah.
It's not acknowledged, but I'm aware of it. But I don't think of it like, oh my God, they sound like they're from Alabama. Like no, they sound like they talk a little different than me, but it's fine. But then again, it's like when we talk to cats from Baltimore or DC, New York, Detroit, and it's like, okay, there's something different here, and not it's like, huh, all right. There's a little different sauce there today.
The Boston accent is crazy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's where I draw the fucking line. I'm not. No,
that shit's borderline a different language.
That's borderline fuckery. Like, stop it. If you're from Boston, stop talking.
Louisiana is pretty.
Louisiana's that Creole,
especially I love the Bobby. And we're playing at the gym today was the Water Boy. But that coach was like,
it's like, what the fuck? And then, they're just smiling. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. What the fuck he's saying. But yeah, either way, like, I wonder if cats in Alaska got an accent. I don't know anybody who was born in Alaska.
I know that they were like offended if you called them Eskimos.
Yeah,
Now
so
you
I
gotta
just
call
found
them
out from Sarah
Indigenous or something.
Inuits.
Inuits, yeah.
So Sarah just told me the other day that that's a slur. So hold on, I got to find out because they had a CFL team called the Eskimos, and I need to know what they're called now.
Inuit.
Because if they didn't change that name, why the Redskins got to change? Hold on, CFL teams. All right, let's see here. All right, so there's the Argonauts. That's fucking dumb. Like, where's the list? Oh, that was the championship game. Oh, that was last week. Oh, so they're done with their season. Losers. Let's see here. So we got the Argonauts. These are words I can't say. Alouettes, Tiger Cats,
Tiger Cats.
the Red Blacks. Wow.
What?
Wow.
That might be the most racist name I've heard yet.
The Blue Bombers, Lions. All right, what's up, Detroit? Stampeders,
These names sound like freaking 3-year-olds made them.
Rough Riders. What's up,
Oh,
DMX?
DMX.
Sorry, just getting into it. And Elks. So somewhere in there, we lost the Eskimos.
Elks.
And
All those names and so on just.
I'm willing to bet that the Elks used to be the Eskimos. Let's find out more. All right, come on, where you at? Wikipedia, tell me some shit. What? I don't even know what town they're playing out of. British Columbia. All these teams are made up. Like, these names aren't even real names. Fuck you. I remember when Baltimore had a CFL team. They just called them the Baltimore CFLs. They didn't. Well, because I think they wanted to be called the Stallions, but for some reason they couldn't call them the Stallions. Then they're like, okay, well, we're just gonna call them the CFLs. And then they went to the championship game their first season, and that got Baltimore hyped for like football. And then when like Cleveland was like, hey, we don't want our team anymore. You guys can have them. And hey, they're already prepped for a Super Bowl. You can win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years with them. And guess what? They did. They won it in 2000. And you know what? Ravens fans never thanked Cleveland for that Super Bowl. I feel disrespected.
This shit is wild too. Then there's just another Cleveland team, and it's like,
So they
didn't
took
the records transfer? But
correct. Yep, they
at
took
one point they didn't.
they took all of the Cleveland history and just reverted it back. They kept it for the town because when Baltimore ended up buying the team, they bought the team in itself, but they didn't buy the history, the names, and whatever. So yeah, initially it was Baltimore / Cleveland for the record books, and then they counted the Ravens as an expansion team later on. And so when Cleveland got a new team as an expansion team, they just counted Baltimore as the expansion team.
It's wild. So like the early Raven players that played on Cleveland, their shit doesn't count for Cleveland.
It's fucking dumb. They're stupid.
They got an asterisk, like steroids.
I mean, what was it like the deer shit, the antler shit?
Oh, the spray that Ray Lewis was using.
Yeah, talk because I remember there was this list real quick because we're pushing that time. I remember there was a list talk about everybody was complaining about the Patriots cheating. And I remember posting this and tagging a few people in it, saying, "Well, wait a minute. Here's a breakdown of each team over the last 20 or so years and the cheating scandals that they've had." And the Patriots were actually at the bottom of that list. Guess who was close to the top? I want to say top 10. Baltimore.
Well, like I can tell you, like when I was a fan of NASCAR, like they used to say, like if you weren't cheating, you weren't trying, and you're trying to do as much as you can without being caught. In terms of like,
Yeah.
I mean, after the races, they're like measuring every little last thing, and if spoiler was a certain angle that gave you an advantage, and it's like, but they all try it. I mean, they used to do stuff like before they did the rigorous testing they do now in NASCAR. Like I heard of stuff like they put plates, like dumbbell, like weight plates in certain things. They do all types of stuff.
I mean, look, it's all about winning. What Al Davis say? Just win, baby.
Oh, he was doing all types of shit. The worst, grimier person you were, he liked you because he's like, you'll do anything.
Hey, look, the NFL of the '80s was that time. Al Davis was like, I love his philosophy though too. You're fast. Darius Hayward Bay. Draft him.
Yo, his shit worked in Madden.
It was like draft him. I remember Michael Crabtree got mad. I think he didn't want to sign when he got drafted Because it's like, well, I should have been that pick. So I want that money. And they're like, yeah, but you weren't. So you're not getting that money. He was like, no, I should have been pick number 7. Not that guy out of Maryland. Yeah, but you weren't.
Man, Raiders kept trying. They had Henry Ruggs even after there was a typical Al Davis pick, and he was super glitch in Madden. But
No, who else was an Al Davis pick?
oh damn, he was fast in other ways.
Don't. That's people died. That we can't. Of all the fucked up things we will say, we can't do that.
But yeah, that
So he did kill people, so that's kind of fucked up. So, but he also, you know, who else was the Al Davis guy? Jamarcus Russell. So always keep that in mind.
he's like cheeseburger.
Here's the game film. Go ahead and watch it.
And that dude, didn't he have like a freaking? That was like the last year the rookies could just sign for whatever, wasn't it? So he got like a $80 million or something.
I wonder where he
contract.
is today in life with all his money. Did he like do well with his money, or did he like fucking squander it?
I was surprised to learn today Mark Brunell like lost all his money.
That's
he
not
invested in a bunch of bad businesses.
He seems the type. Like they're like.
I think he's an analyst now, which those guys.
No, he's a coach for the Lions.
Oh yeah. He was an analyst. Now he's I think he's the quarterback coach.
Yeah.
So that job, I bet, pays not NFL money, but like
Minimum wage.
no, I bet it pays. I bet you that kind of job pays like something like $70,000, which is a good living.
I think it pays more.
I could see it paying more.
I would say at least 110.
Phew. I want to be a quarterback coach.
Yeah, I play enough Madden. Like, I mean, Jeff Saturday proved it. That's how he got the job. He played Madden, and you know,
Al Davis definitely playing Madden in his old age.
of course,
He knew what wins teams. Those speed teams absolutely killing Madden.
Al Davis was like, "Look, here are my criteria. Are they fast? Yep, they're fast. Are they willing to do some steroids? Yep. Are they willing to lie about it? Yep. All right, you think they might run some drugs for me? Yep. Draft them." And that's how Jamarcus Russell got drafted, and that's how Darius Hayward-Bay got drafted.
My first time I did the league in Madden was, I think, 2 years ago now. Henry Ruggs rookie year. But I was confused in the fantasy draft because Henry Ruggs got picked second overall. And I'm, what? And then I saw why. As soon as you got single deep and safe in the cover two, you send him out wide, throw that shit as long as you can. He runs past everybody.
Dude, I bet you Al Davis was probably pissed that he couldn't
John
get
Ross.
He couldn't get Lawrence Taylor, and not because he was that good. It was just like Lawrence Taylor looks like the kind of guy that would do all the cocaine. So he was like, we need that guy here. Yo, that would have been wild. I mean, you get this kid from North Carolina, sent him out to New York. He was like, what is this booger sugar? Puts it in his nose and woo, took off. If he would have gone to L.A., oh my God, he would have killed people, like literally, like murdered humans.
So something came up this weekend with the NFL talking about Bo Jackson again with his 40 time. Yeah. Of like 2 different people, various people in college did record him at. It's like 4-1 something.
That seems accurate. He was a fucking incredible specimen.
Madden's got those all-time teams. When they make Bo Jackson speed, it better be a 99.
He better be 103.
Yeah. like you get a turbo button.
That shit's off the chart. Well, like when he fucking trucked over Brian Bosworth, like I was a kid, so I don't know anything about that from like actual like watching the shit. But when you see the replays of that shit on like SportsCenter used to play that shit every year. They show him just trucking them. It's like, oh my God, that's disrespectful. And then Bosworth went off to be a movie star. He said, "Fuck this." Well, that's a Falcon, Anthony Mackie, whoever plays fucking Falcon on fucking Avengers movies. He was telling a story about why he became an actor. He was like, yeah, I was a D1 cornerback. You know, I'm lined up, and I was told to go hit the running back. But what I didn't see was the lineman pulling. It was the biggest white boy I ever seen. He hit me, and as I'm going down on the ground, my eyes are open. I see the running back just run right past me. And that's when I decided to become an actor. I was like, good call.
Before we get out of here, you see the Seattle 12th man?
It's not Russell.
No. So if you haven't seen this yet, hilarious. Seattle gets an interception in the game. Starts to return it. Dude on the sideline just joins the game and starts blocking. Like, a legit 12th man. They didn't catch it live. The replay shows them this dude's watching the intercept. Yo, he doesn't hesitate. They get the interception. Dude comes off the sideline, starts blocking. Nobody notices. Like,
Hey, I
there's
look.
all types of memes. Like, yo,
Love
he
to
got
hear it.
excited.
That's my kind of town, Seattle. I see you, Seattle.
But I was just thinking, like, how? I bet that's pretty hard to catch live. Like, you might, if someone reviews it, even review, like, someone's gonna have to go back and watch that play and really notice, because it's sneaky. Like, dude's legit on the side, then just legit takes off and makes a block. He almost blocks, gets in the way in a way. But yeah, that's just wild. He took the 12th man to another level.
Sounds like my kind of guy. Like it. All right, yeah, let's go ahead and get the fuck out of here. We got 5 minutes before we hit 2.5 hours again. Sometimes I tell myself we're not going to do 2.5. I tell myself we're going to do 2. And then when I see us at 2, I'm like, fuck it, let's go an extra 30. Why the fuck not? We talk about everything on this board, so that's good. It's empty-ass board.
We're like, what? What are we going to talk about? I don't know.
Sometimes, well, because I text myself notes throughout the week, and then I put it on the board. But this week, I mean, because we just recorded Friday night, and then I honestly didn't even, because, holidays and everything. Like, I went back to work today. I didn't want to. I was like, fuck this place. That's why I like taking time off from work, because I don't ever want to go back. Because they're like, fuck y'all. So, yeah. But, as always, thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate the fuck out of y'all. If y'all got any questions, concerns, criticisms, suggestions for beers, reach out to us. I am found on bjj.wiki on Instagram. I have 100,000 followers. Join the flock. Join the stadium. Steve can be found on thor.bentley.
I only have 1,000. It's fine.
Dude, 1,000 is
It's
a lot, son.
It's a not movie quality. It's fine.
Son, 1,000's a lot. Don't let nobody tell you less. Like, somebody be like, oh, you only got 1,000 followers? Fucking backsmack them bitches. Remember somebody tried to get on my personal Instagram and try to like I think because I was following like 1,000, I had like 900. Like I had 900 followers. Like, imagine having less. Imagine following more people than they follow you. I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, bitch, I will beat the shit. And then they start talking about one of my friends on there. They start going at her. I was like, first the fuck off, who are you? I will monkey stomp you. So yeah, don't let nobody tell you 1,000 is not enough, because it is. But 100,000 is more. And Ultimate just hit 10,000 downloads. So somebody bragging at me. But yeah, collectively we could be found at Colompton Beer Club, also on Instagram. And we have some suggestions. Steve's trying to find them still, so don't think we're ignoring you. We love y'all. Otherwise, I guess that's really fucking it. How do I close this out? I don't know how I close it out, but I don't know. Thanks, y'all.
Good soup.
Bye, bitch. Question mark?